This is the Troll Patrol, live with JustinFREAKIN.
Now, when I last left you, we were talking about a possible constitutional crisis that was going to be going on because of the showdown over the deportation of a legal resident to El Salvador. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Supreme Court just destroyed democracy. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. They put a stay on bringing the resident back from El Salvador. That was supposed to happen at midnight, by midnight tonight. They put a stay on that a few hours ago. But we'll read their ruling that they just came down with about a half hour ago. That Amy Coney Barrett was even like, yeah, we shouldn't do this. I am not high enough for this shit. Oh, welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Monday where I'm still having weird internet issues. And I was like, oh, yep, forgot to do my little workaround thing. And that caused whatever happened with Twitch over there. Fair enough, Sky Comet. Welcome in. Warlord, Sky Comet, Holiday, Flash. Hello, friends. The jam-packed show. I feel like, so that was my second story tonight that we were going to talk about. So now I feel like I need to rearrange the stories and do that first, but we'll stick to the original plan, I guess. I haven't had time to process it because I was in going live on stream mode when I read it. It's a lot. Like, they have to know what they're doing. I'm disappointed in Roberts because I have always felt that Roberts was reasonable. The fucking majority opinion, unsigned. Nobody would even put their fucking name to it. They know. They know what they're doing. That's the worst part about it. We got other news to talk about. I hope you are in, or you guys are ready for 30 minutes of Lori Vallow Daybell, because I was like, should I save this for the anniversary show? Because it's going to be long. She's given an interview to a local news station, and she also did her opening arguments in her murder trial. We got the video. Will we watch the whole interview? Maybe, maybe not. But we're probably going to watch the whole opening arguments of her defending herself. Krell, welcome in. Here's your meme of the day. Gens X, Y, and Z seeing another a recession. We could have also used the first time format. That would have worked as well. We're all Ben Affleck tonight. Sky Comet, that's because it just happened. It just fucking happened. It was within the last 30 minutes they handed down the ruling. That's why I saw it as like I was going live. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because, like, at first I thought it was just the ruling from earlier that put the stay on the lower court's order. But no, we've got a fresh ruling saying, nope. Trump's use of the aliens and, I forget what the whole thing is, the Aliens and Extradition Act or whatever. Totally legal. They can do it. Congress has the power to cancel the national emergency, I'm pretty fucking sure. But just like with the tariff thing, like Trump has threatened to veto it, but I don't think the tariff thing could pass. They only had 7 Republicans. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But I didn't get a chance to look that one over. Seriously, like, it has been, like, you talk about boom and bust. Fuck my life. Like, I came out of high school during the strongest economy, it's kind of a facade. I don't want to call it the strongest economy, but on paper, the strongest economy that we'd ever had coming out of Bill Clinton. And I'm coming into the workforce during the 9/11 recession. And then, like, just 3 or 4 years after that, we're hitting the housing crisis. So I went back to college. I get out of college, and do you know what happens when I get out of college? 2 years later, they elect Donald Trump as the president. And for a while, it was okay. We were riding that Obama high, where we had the low gas prices and everything. Looking back, 2015, 2016, 2017, some of the most profitable times of my life. One of the best times of my life. Then boom, get hit with another fucking recession. DJ Dub, welcome in. Alien. DJ Dub, Curious and I sitting over there on the chairs after the show. And I was like, did you notice that DJ Dub said, like, he had to go leave? Like, he's with me so many nights, but he had to go leave. She's like, yeah, I understand. And I'm like, but did you notice what I played? It was Kamala Harris. It was, what else? I played something else super fucking Libby last. Oh, I played Barack Obama. I was like, that's what got DJ Dub upset. It was the liberals. I know, and I knew it. I introed it. I knew what you guys would think. And as I said, it was weird hearing Obama say it because he was absolutely right, except for him to say that. I'm right to say what he said, but I elected him to do what he said I said to do. Yes, Harris and Obama need to move the fuck out of the way. Chuck Schumer needs to move the fuck out of the way. Nancy Pelosi needs to move the fuck out. We need a culling, I'm saying that figuratively, probably, of politicians. Probably. It's time for guillotines. It's time to raise the boards. It's time to sharpen blades. We just can't take this anymore. Those peaceful protests just were not cutting it. Martin Luther King and Gandhi both can go suck a dick. I wish I could play the song without getting copyright, but I can't. I can play the Pledge of Allegiance, but I can't play the Comedy Central, man. My life has been awesome inside of a nightmare. It's Trevor after Whitest Kids. My lord, welcome in. Don't have the family with you tonight. Yeah, it was from High in Church, I think was the name of the special. Oh, hey, my lord's family. Welcome. I thought that's what you meant when you said lonely days. Thought it meant you didn't have your family with you tonight. Welcome. Let's go over what that news be doing. I got an update on that Cleaver attack we were talking about last night. I do not know what the fuck is going on with this story, but there's a 13-year-old that's dead. That 13-year-old soccer coach was arrested a couple of days ago. Now he's dead. We'll find out. There was a standoff with cops in Pennsylvania that resulted in one cop getting shot. Remember last week when I told you about Israel opening fire on a set of medics and they had their their claim that, oh, they didn't have their lights on. We didn't see them coming. They weren't properly marked. Boy, do I got some video for you. Yeah. Righto, welcome in, my friend. Thank you for being a freaking follower. We're going to talk about I keep wanting to say Carmelo Hayes because that's the WWE wrestler. Carmelo Anthony. I got a few facts to lay on you guys about this that might blow your mind. Do you want to know what sport they're protesting about trans women competing in now? You're never going to guess. You're never going to guess. And I was in a group. I'm like, really? Really? I mean, even at face value, you think men have an advantage in this sport? And the dude's like, yeah, they're more analytical and they can think faster. Pool. It is pool. Flash got it right. They're upset about trans women playing pool. Which, why the fuck are pool competitions gendered? Nancy Mace says she's not going to hold a town hall because there's fake protesters. And hey, she might have a point. I'm going to have to eat my words. Remember all those protests nationwide? I have proof for you that there were at least some people at that protest getting paid. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen wants to be able to assault journalists. Avalon, welcome in. Princess Kimberly, did I tell you good evening? T-, welcome in. Oh my God. Men have better hand-eye coordination. I would think that was like the opposite. I think women have better hand-eye coordination. Women have better hand-eye coordination than me, that's for fucking sure. I played you that clip of Kamala Harris that pissed everybody off last night, saying, I told you so. Tim Wall's response to her, I told you so. I haven't heard what he said. I wonder if we're gonna feel good about it. Finally, you are going to get a little John Kennedy on the show. I couldn't help myself. But I have been waiting for so long for this man, ever since he got elected in November. I was like, now that he is in the Senate, he will take John Kennedy's place as my new folksy dumbass is going to say all kinds of stupid shit. And I haven't played a clip of him yet. The Senate has been in session for like 3 months now. Haven't played a clip of him. Tonight is the night. Senator Jim Justice is going to tell us why the school children need whole milk. Pam Bondi goes on Fox News to yap about a constitutional crisis, but I don't think it's the same one that we all think we're in. Tariffs, deportations, and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol live. Good evening. Whole milk. We were curious or not, we were talking about this, and she's like, I drank whole milk in school. I was like, I don't think we had whole milk. I think we had like 2% in chocolate. I think there might have been skim milk. I think there might have been like little pink cartons of skim milk, but I don't think we had whole milk in school. And that's probably for the best. I can tell you as someone who drinks milk constantly, never looks at the expiration date because I drink so much goddamn milk. Whole milk will make you fat. Whole milk will absolutely make you fat because I put on like 50 pounds, switched to 2%, and it came right back off. I do have them strong bones. You know that's a lie, don't you? That was like the milk industry and their bullshit. Everything comes back to capitalism and somebody trying to make a buck by scamming you. I wish more people had critical fucking thoughts. I can't stand skim milk. And here's the thing is I grew up on it because my mom bought nothing but skim milk. So I didn't understand how much fucking better whole milk is. That's why I went nuts on fucking whole milk when I grew up. I lived on a farm for a couple months in the summer one time. And holy shit, everything's better fresh. Everything is better fresh, I can assure you. The butter, the milk, the sausage, holy shit, the eggs. Everything. The steaks. Yes, we had some, because they had bulls and shit. Had a whole bunch of cows, had 2 or 3 different bulls. It was, I didn't fucking, like, we were over in the horse section, right? Like, the dude I lived with was the guy that was hired to take care of the horses in the stable. I didn't do shit on that farm. Trump is holding firm to his tariffs, threatens more.
Welcome to the News Hour. It was a day of wild swings on Wall Street as investors and businesses sought...
Yeah, apparently, like, we thought it was going to be a bloodbath, and it started off as a bloodbath, but they actually swang back. Still closed down, but they swang back like 2,300 points after dropping 1,600 points or whatever.
Clarity about the scope of new tariffs and how long they might last.
President Trump and his team sent conflicting messages again, including a threat by the president to ramp up much larger tariffs of 50% against China. By day's end, the Dow finished a bit down, just under 1%. The Nasdaq finished just above break even, and the S&P 500 was down about 0.2%. But turmoil and confusion over the president's goals defined much of the day. Lisa Desjardins has our report.
The opening bell on Wall Street.
They look so happy.
Alarm. With
The people ringing the bell look so happy. When it goes down to the floor, they don't look happy at all.
On Wall Street, the sound of alarm, with stocks bungeeing wildly in the first hours and traders not able to find a foothold in President Trump's tariff war. The economic issues are complicating diplomatic ones, as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived at the White House.
Mr. President, will you discuss...
Warlord put in the Discord, Trump pulling out the seat for him. And I'm like, again? Didn't that just happen like a month ago? Again?
Tariffs on Israel.
Reporters shouted questions after the two leaders canceled their formal news conference together.
Tadpole.
Netanyahu's war-battered economy now faces a new 17% tariff from the U.S.
But we had great discussions today.
In the Oval Office, Israel's leader said his country will meet Trump's economic demands.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put.
What in the fuck? Are they going to import from the U.S. or are we going to start exporting? What in the fuck?
Put up unnecessarily.
The president used the opportunity to dig in on tariffs.
This is America first. It's now America first. And we didn't put America first. We put America last.
Trump actually upped the stakes, threatening China on social media with another 50% tariff if the world's second largest economy does not back off its reciprocal tariffs by tomorrow.
I am a firm believer that China don't fucking need us, and that not we as in the country, as in the collective good, business in the United States absolutely needs the Chinese market. I pointed out we've got no industry to export to China, and somebody's like, sure, we got exports to China. Do you know what we export to China? Soybeans. And then everything else that we export to China is shit that we had to get the raw materials from China to make in the first place. It's like oil, automobile, yeah, shit like that. Like, the amount of shit that we actually trade with China, it was anemic. So I'm sorry that, like, when I said in the post, like, we trade nothing with China, you took my hyperbolic statement at face value and decided that somehow soybeans were an own. Tier 2, welcome in. Who else snuck in here on me? Avalon, I tell you good evening. Bagheera, welcome in, friend. Minty Treasure. So glad to see all of you tonight.
Tomorrow. This as words of warning are growing more urgent. Across the Atlantic, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen accused the U.S. of economic bullying and said it is now talking with other trading partners.
So it's very clear that we are open for negotiations, and that in parallel we are preparing a potential list for retaliation and other measures for retaliation if this is necessary. We prefer to have a negotiated solution.
Back on Wall Street, billionaire Trump backer and hedge fund manager Bill Ackman urged Trump to delay large tariff deadlines, writing, "Otherwise, we are heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down." And JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned the bank's investors of higher prices in the short term, and adding, whether or not the menu of tariffs causes a recession remains in question. This after a morning of whiplash on the markets, first plunging and then a sudden rise back into positive territory based on a social media-fueled rumor. National Economic Council Chief Kevin Hassett was asked this on Fox News.
Will you do a 90-day pause? Would you consider that?
The president is going to decide what the president's going to decide. So the idea that it's going to be a nuclear winter or something like that is completely irresponsible rhetoric.
Some on social media mistakenly proclaimed a 90-day tariff freeze was coming, leading to a sudden positive spike that quickly disappeared. To the idea of a 90-day pause, today Trump himself told reporters,
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals.
That seemed to contradict with other words of Trump's advisors, including Counselor Peter Navarro yesterday on Fox.
This is not a negotiation.
Today, the president was asked,
You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the action?
Well, it can both be true. They can be permanent.
You both be.
And there can also be negotiations.
A few on Trump's team have repeated a more specific phrase about the length of the tariffs.
They are definitely going to stay in place for days and weeks. That is sort of obvious. The president needs to reset global trade.
The effect on global trade long term is not yet clear, but the world's stock markets continue to reset to red. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
I mean, once again, this can be an opportunity for us. If he destroys the system and people revolt, then it's possible that we can take the reins and rebuild a social democracy in its place. I don't hold out hope. YouTube, welcome in. I'll see your nut lick and raise you a titty slap.
A titty slap!
Come on now.
Trump has said he will threaten a veto, or is threatening a veto on a bill that would stop Trump from being able to impose tariffs, because that's a power Congress gave over to Trump. He wouldn't have that if Congress hadn't relinquished that power in the last 50 years, dumb fucks.
Congress is already working on a bipartisan plan to rein in these tariffs, but the White House is already saying that the president will veto it if it ever comes to his desk.
No go for the White House, Kira. This legislation is being put forward by Senator Chuck Grassley, a Republican, and Senator Maria Cantwell, a Democrat, and it would give Congress more authority over the president.
They apparently only have like 7 Republicans, so you ain't got the votes.
Tariffs. It would make the president require him to notify Congress of new tariffs and require.
Ooh, we need a convoy, don't we, T-minus?
60 days of tariffs being issued. The White House says that the president would veto this if it were to pass in the Senate. There are 6 other Republican co-sponsors to this. It's not clear, though, if it could get across the finish line. The White House, Kira.
Okay, maybe I was wrong on that. It was 6 other co-sponsors. So maybe they do have more Republican support.
If this bill were to pass, it would dangerously hamper the president's authority and duty to determine our foreign policy and protect our national security. And you'll remember last week when the president made this announcement in the Rose Garden, these sweeping tariffs, he signed an executive order saying there was a national emergency on trade, and that is why he needed to regulate imports. And so that is the authority that the White House is saying that the president is using to issue these tariffs that'll go into effect on Wednesday.
Yeah, he just came in, declared all these emergency powers, and well, if he invokes the Insurrection Act, Bagheera, what you gonna do when he invokes the Insurrection Act and sends you off to a camp? What you gonna do when you're in Gitmo? Or you're in El Salvador? Everyone's favorite senator.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Julie, welcome in. Everyone's favorite senator, the senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, shared his thoughts on tariffs.
It's been painful, but it may turn out well.
That's also what happens when you take cock as well. It's been painful, but it may turn out well.
May not. If it doesn't turn out well, I think the president will recalibrate.
To that point, do you think it's Donald Trump's economy now?
Oh, I think it is. There's no question. I think once he decided to add the tariffs, clearly, I mean, he will be held responsible, as he should, whether it turns out good or it turns out badly.
Is there a point at which you would consider supporting taking tariff authority back into congressional hands? There have been some efforts in the Senate to do that.
Well, if I finally concluded that what the president is proposing is not going to work, or if the treatment is worse than the disease, sure. And I'm going to look at Senator Grassley's bill very closely. But I'm not there yet. It's been painful.
But he's open-minded. He's not there yet, but he's open-minded.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Lenny, good evening, my friend. Who is this? Who's Richard Quest? Apparently, who is Richard Quest? Why do I care what he's doing? This has been a hilarious reaction that's making its rounds on the internet. But who is he? Why do I care about his reaction? A British journalist and non-practicing barrister? What the fuck is a barrister? Hey, Warlord, what's a barrister? I got the internet. Why am I not looking it up? It's a fucking barrister. Learn to fill in barristers. Why am I not showing you guys? This is a lawyer who is authorized to appear and present cases at any court in jurisdiction. Like a common law lawyer. Okay. And he's a news anchor for CNN International. Editor at large for CNN Business. That's who he is. We're going to get his reaction. Clinically, welcome in.
And whiplash on Wall Street amid deepening economic uncertainty and growing global anxiety.
Yeah, U.S. markets opened deep in the red once again following Donald Trump's escalating trade war. But they have been fluctuating wildly for the past several hours. Here's a look at where things stand right now. The Dow down about 700 points or so. We actually saw it briefly in the...
Lucky you, Clinically. They still ain't fixed mine. The new modem they sent me doesn't work.
Green, up about 800 points at one point today. That was because of an unfounded rumor, but now obviously solidly in the red. And it's been red arrows all day for European stocks as well after Asian markets closed down sharply earlier. But the president is showing no signs of retreating, urging Americans not to be, quote, weak or stupid and panic.
And he's now threatening to impose new 50% tariffs on China following Beijing's retaliatory tariffs last week. The White House, meantime, is downplaying the...
That's what I think none of this is coincidental. I think I realized this when I was talking to Curiouser last night. They booted Elon from the White House on Wednesday. On Wednesday morning or something. They cut his nuts off, and that's when he brought in Laura Loomer. And then the tariffs happened that afternoon. I think Elon was stopping him from doing this because Elon couldn't sell like everybody in the administration was doing a sell-off because it's a pump and dump. So they were selling before they did the tariffs, and Elon couldn't sell because he's leveraged. That's why he was selling, that's why he did the fucking move to sell Twitter to his other company. It all makes sense now, right? Because I've even got a video. I wasn't going to play it, but I can go grab it from my thing. Apparently, like, Elon's all sad and shit. So, I think he's going to... Did they give him a contract today? Did Trump throw him a bone? Because maybe they're going to try to keep him happy. But, like, I think that's what it was. Like, because if Tesla stock goes so far down and there are margin calls that come in, Elon is ruined. So I totally think that's what we have going on here.
Growing economic concerns.
The market will find a bottom. It will be soon. And from there, we're going to have a bullish boom.
All right, we'll play it, T-minus. I'll go grab it.
Who knows how the market is going to react in a day, in a week.
You need to reset the power of the United States of America and reset it against all our allies and our enemies alike.
It's a strategy to create a golden age in America for the American worker. That's a strategy.
A strategy with no details. All these advisors seem to be talking past each other.
Look at his
CNN,
face.
Richard
his head buried in his hands, literally.
And it's only Monday.
Yep, that's the look that's been going viral.
There doesn't have to be a recession, says the U.S. Treasury Secretary. He's right. There doesn't have to be a recession. The only problem is economic circumstances have now been put in place that most Wall Street economists of senior note say are likely to cause a recession. Goldman and others now say it's up to 60%. By the way, can we go back to the Dow Jones actual chart of the day, please? Just go back to that moment.
What's the chart of the day? Is it like the soup of the day?
Spike. That is where there was a rumor that the administration was going to pause by 90 days the tariffs. Well, it was just a rumor, and the market found it was a rumor and then promptly turned in the absolute opposite direction. But now let's forget rumors. Now we have
You're right, Flash.
Donald Trump
the chart du jour
to increase by 50% the tariffs on China tomorrow because they've had the temerity to retaliate with the 34% tip for...
Who did it start with? Who was it? Mario Nafla, or was it like fucking like one of those kind of influencers like Greg Gunnerman or fucking Cat Turd? It was Cat Turd, wasn't it? Cat Turd started the... I thought I could trust Cat Turd. I get all my information from Cat Turd.
That they did. So, you want a trade war? This is what it looks like. And you remember...
No fucking way. Just some dude with Bloomberg in his name.
There doesn't have to be a recession. By the way...
Wow.
All the rest. Howard Lutnick's comments, the economic advisors...
Was his profile picture Walter White with like... with like Michael Bloomberg's face under the hat?
Comments, Navarro's comments, that's all just hyperbole. That's all just...
That's where they belong, him Lord.
It's going to be marvelous. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to boom. But this is the reality. And at some point, ladies and gentlemen, at some point, there is so much disruption that the market simply can't take it. And jobs go, investment stops, the recession happens.
I'm muted, aren't I? Mr. Elon looks kind of sad and pathetic.
I hope that
I hope that the United States and Europe can establish a very close partnership. We obviously are, there's an alliance already, but I'm hopeful that there can be a very close relationship with America and Europe. And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America.
Genius businessman. We had that. What it used to be called the North American Free Trade to get NAFTA. It's called something else now. It's basically NAFTA. Was AMLO? I keep wanting to call it AMLO, but that was the former president of Mexico. It's like Am something or Amway, some shit like that. It has a different acronym, but it's basically still NAFTA. We have that, you idiots. And because our population isn't educated, Trumpta, Amtrak. Now you guys are just fucking with me.
Free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs. I hope that I hope that the United States and Europe.
I hope someone Luigi's you. NAMBLA. Yeah, that's it. That's the name of that trade deal that Trump signed last time. This is NAMBLA. Well, in the National Association of Marlon Brando lookalikes. Oh my God, that's so brilliant. And they did all look like Marlon Brando, too. USMCA, thank you, Flash. Thank you. That's it. I knew if I heard it, I'd know it. Which sounds like a branch of our military, to be honest with you. What branch did you serve in? I served in the USMCA. It's fun to stay at the USCMA. Oh, I fucked it up. What kind of a mood am I in tonight? Somebody else taking a hit is the owner of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy.
Or I went super viral when I said I lost $7 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof. But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in.
Pack another one.
Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me. I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes.
I can barely hear it, but is that Grimes in the background that he's listening to?
$1 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof.
Oh, he knows it's coming back. But the problem is if he had pulled it out, he would have made money, and then he could buy back in at a lower price and then raise it up. He missed the dip, so therefore he doesn't get to profit off of this. That's what he's upset about.
But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in. Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me. I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes.
Sir, that's because you just fell out of a fucking coconut tree.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I know, that's why I played it for you. I knew you guys would enjoy that. Before you're going to enjoy that before we do this, which you're not going to enjoy. So this was earlier, and then I'm getting ready to give you the horrifying update that we had to this. About 3, 4, 5 hours ago, the Supreme Court issued a pause on the return of a Maryland man sent to El Salvador they legally couldn't deport. Under court order that ICE couldn't touch him, and they deported him anyway. He had apparently got swept up in some sort of sting by mistake, and they've proven this now. But at one time, he was charged with being MS-13 because somebody fucking testified to it, and the local sheriff's department made a big deal about it. So that's why Trump is wanting to deport this dude, not MS-13. Wife is a citizen, if I remember correctly. He is a legal resident. Wife, citizen. A single confidential informant claimed that he was MS-13. And it was the sheriff's office, right? It was a little local podunk agency. They proved it in court. The judge said you can't touch him. This happened in 2019. The Trump administration deported him anyway. The district court said you've got until midnight tonight to return him because you broke the law. Trump appealed to the Supreme Court yesterday, and earlier today, the Supreme Court ruled this.
Thank you all for joining us here at Live Now from Fox. My name is Carla Hada, and we do want to get to some breaking news at this time. As you're seeing here, a post from the Associated Press. Chief Justice
Carla Hada was a hottie.
Paused an order for the Trump administration to return a man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. It's a story that we have been following for several days now, as we just heard that the Justice Department did argue in an emergency appeal to the justices that U.S. District Judge overseeing this case overstepped her authority when she ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia returned to the United States. The administration has conceded that Abrego Garcia should not have been sent to El Salvador because an immigration judge found he likely would face persecution by local gangs. But he is no longer in U.S. custody, and the government has no way to get him back. That's according to some of the arguments made by the administration. Now, the judge that was presiding, the district judge, gave the administration until just before midnight to, quote, facilitate and effectuate Abrego Garcia's return. The same court's injunction, which requires Abrego Garcia's release from the custody of a foreign sovereign and return to the United States by midnight.
This is even worse, Flash. The Supreme Court is,
according to the Solicitor General, and
they said no, it's okay. You can violate lower court orders.
A quote, a deluge of unlawful injunction.
TolerX Live, welcome in, friends, Raiders. Oh shit. We gotta come back to this here in a second. We're doing an incredibly important story. But my buddy is here. TolerX, my friend. Welcome in. We're gonna have to light one up, tip one back for TolerX. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked, sick aesthetic.
Not high enough for this shit.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Walsh for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news beat doing. Fu Manchu and a slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right-wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you think? And there's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the call.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quit panic, attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jump in Discords, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll. Whatever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Good.
Right-wingers are morons.
Like one it and hit one back. One more clip before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
Yeah, let's break the bong out. We've got Tyler X's people in here. Hope you had a great stream, my friend. If any of you guys aren't following me, hit that follow button. If you're not aware of who I am, the song does a good job of explaining that. That's like the best YouTube channel trailer I could ever ask for. Thank you so much, Media Winch, for making a banger for me. And then when right-wingers are like, nobody likes you, I'm like, hey, has anybody ever wrote a fucking rap song about you? Come the fuck on. But you heard her, light one up, tip one back. Coming up on the 5th anniversary edition of the Troll Patrol. That is Saturday, 4/20. We're probably going to come on at noon. They usually come on at 4 o'clock. It's WrestleMania weekend. It's WrestleMania night. My best friend is going to be here. We've started this new tradition of getting together for WrestleMania, and I love it. Triple H fucked me over and put WrestleMania on 4/20. It's also my 5th anniversary. Because Curious was like, well, just fuck your show. I'm like, it's the 5th anniversary. It's 4/20. So we're going to be coming on at noon. The 5th anniversary edition of, I said Saturday, it's Sunday. It is Sunday, 4/20, it's Easter. I'll probably not do all the 4/20s across the country like I usually do, because I'm going to get off and watch WrestleMania. We're probably going to, like, WrestleMania comes on at 6. I'll probably go off at like 6:37, something like that, and watch WrestleMania. It'll still be a fun time, but here's what I'm going to do. You're going to find out the origins of where light one up, tip one back comes from. I'm going to do like a pop-up video of that video, tell you all the different Easter eggs, where every little like joke that you may have missed is hidden in that video. I love it. Bagheera calls me a left-wing socialist who voted for Kamala. Flash says it's making me sound cooler than I am. They call me a libbers around here. I think I'm a leftist, but if I voted for Kamala, you know, huh? But I mean, I didn't fall out of no coconut tree. I knew what would happen.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I'm a firm believer that it would have been easier to advocate for the policies I care about under a Democratic administration. I would have much rather been doing a show where I'm on here bitching about Kamala every night. I would love to be on here talking about how much I hate Kamala Harris. But you know what? My numbers are up. It's better for a left-wing commentator when there's a right-wing government. But beneficially for me, as a human being, I would have much rather had Kamala Harris in office. And I think I did my part to try to make that happen. And I apologize to anybody and I lost a few fans. I lost a few really good fans. Mary Jane is one of them. You haven't seen her around since the election, have you? Felt like I was a little too much in the tank for Kamala. And I've even like, you know, I apologized to her on stream afterwards. Once we had the data, like, I was wrong. Not in my advocation for Kamala. I was wrong in that, like, I kind of thought she was doing the right thing with Liz Cheney, because the country's a lot more conservative than people like to think. But there was just no peeling off Republicans. Republicans are just a lost cause. Oh shit, is that where we're all... Yeah, it is Monday night, isn't it? Gliant Milkies? Gliant Milkies? I love it. You know what we do to Gliant Milkies around here? We give them titty slaps.
A titty slap!
Come on now.
Right-wingers are morons. They're the dumbest fucks walking the planet. And I say that because that includes libertarians. That includes most Democrats. Right-wingers just sums up all the people I dislike. I'm good with liberals. I'm good with people that are nominally on the left. It takes all kinds. My enemies are dumb fuck right-wingers and people that don't use critical thought. All right. Earlier today, and I might want to clip this for YouTube. I don't know. I probably won't. It's not one of the clips that I thought I was going to do, but you never know. So I want to do the whole thing back in order. Probably going to make the same joke about the anchor I made before. Earlier today, the Trump administration had argued in front of the Supreme Court that they should be allowed to use the aliens in whatever the fuck act to deport. I'm already fucking it up. Here, just listen to the hot anchor.
Welcome back, and thank you all for joining us here at Live Now from Fox. My name is Carla Hada, and we do want to get to some breaking news.
Carla Hada is a hottie.
As you're seeing here, a post from the Associated Press. Chief Justice John Roberts has paused an order for the Trump administration to return a man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. It's a story that we have been following for several days now, as we just heard that the Justice Department did argue in an emergency appeal to the justices that U.S. District Judge overseeing this case overstepped her authority when she ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia returned to the United States. The administration has conceded that Abrego Garcia should not have been sent to El Salvador because an immigration judge found he likely would face persecution by local gangs. But he is no longer in U.S. custody, and the government has no way to get him back. That's according to some of the arguments made.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that the most powerful country in the world has no way to get this little dude that they just sent there a week or two ago back. Bullshit.
Now, the judge that was presiding, the district judge, gave the administration until just before midnight to, quote, facilitate and effectuate Abrego Garcia's return. Saying, quote, the district court's injunction, which requires Abrego Garcia's release from the custody of...
We're not the most powerful country in the world anymore.
And return to the United States by midnight on Monday is patently unlawful, according to the Solicitor General and what he wrote in court papers.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that, Dragonfly. I think the administration just doesn't care. Let's hope he's alive. But I didn't even think about that. They could possibly know that he's dead. And they don't want to fucking say that in court. Because, boy, would that look bad on him. Which it doesn't matter anymore. I'll give you the update here in a second.
Casting the order as one, a quote, a deluge of unlawful injunctions judges have issued to slow President Donald Trump's agenda. The Trump administration is separately asking the Supreme Court to allow President Trump to resume deportations of Venezuelan migrants accused of being gang members to the same Salvadoran prison under an 18th century wartime law.
I don't think so, Flash.
The court in Richmond, Virginia, denied the administration's request for a stay, saying, quote, there is no question that the government screwed up here. The White House has described Abrego Garcia's deportation as an administrative error, but has also cast him an MS-13 gang member. Now, attorneys for Abrego Garcia said there is no evidence he was an MS-13.
None.
But that is just the latest breaking news. Again, back.
I think they proved that he is not a gang member.
Showcasing here that Chief Justice John Roberts paused the order for the Trump administration to return a man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. So we'll have to wait and see what comes next.
Oh, I know exactly what comes next, because about 3 or 4 hours after that news report, we got the Supreme Court ruling on the case overall. And holy shit. The Supreme Court is allowing Venezuelan deportations to continue, but says with due process. I have a feeling this is going to be like that order that they issued saying that Trump is immune. Like, oh, he's immune, but it's for official acts and blah, 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 blah. But this is official act, so in this narrow instance, I feel like that's what they're doing here. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. 5-4 decision. Amy Coney Barrett joining the 3 liberal justices on Monday evening, allowing Trump to resume deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members under the Aliens Enemies Act, but said detainees must be given due process to challenge their removal. The unsigned, once again, these people know. They know how history is going to judge them. That's why they didn't put their name on it. Fucking... We know who they are. Like somebody looking back on the record, oh, there's no judges in the name or in the order. If somebody's looking at it in a textbook 100 years from now, they may not know the names of the people. We know. And it's John Roberts. And I have always said that I thought that John Roberts was a reasonable man, that George W. Bush issued a good pick. And holy shit, was I wrong. Holy shit, is he a piece of work. The unsigned per curiam opinion said a federal district court in Washington lacks the jurisdiction to address the matter, lifting a temporary restraining order issued by U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. Why would they not have the jurisdiction? I hear Rusty. Sorry, like your name is like in like 4 different lines on my chat over here. Rusty, my friend. If they can't get him back, he ain't ever going to get a settlement. Hold me closer, JustinFREAKIN. Globus. Did you watch Elton John on SNL this weekend? You got SNL on the brain. I watched it last night. It's pretty good. The migrants' claims fall within the core of the writ of habeas corpus and thus must be brought in habeas. 4 justices dissented. That would be the liberals, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Amy Coney Barrett. The court's majority made clear, however, the migrants removed under the AEA authority must be given notice and afforded within a reasonable time and in such a manner as will allow them to actually seek habeas relief in the proper venue before such removal occurs. Fair enough. I just had Elton John on the brain because of that. Globus, my friend, follow. We are going to do a panel together here soon. Me, you, and producer Dave. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to be on there. Just as soon as Globus tells me where we're going to have that panel, we're going to do that. And I'm looking forward to it. Of course, he was Federalist Society. All the Republican picks. And like fucking Obama's pick was Federalist Society. And didn't Clinton have a couple of Federalist Society judges? Like, they're fucking in everything. This might feel quaint now because I had this clip of Adam Schiff reacting to the first Supreme Court order.
You, Mr. Nadler, and I regret to announce that.
I know, DJ Dub.
Chief Justice Roberts has indefinitely blocked the court order requiring the return of Kilmore Abrego Garcia.
Holiday.
Came out during the course of this hearing. So we now have the deportation of someone in violation of court order, and a further court ordering his return has.
Sounds good, Globes. Oh, you gotta be forceful with Dave. Dave's already forgotten, and you just go like, "Hey, Dave, get your Steve-O ass off." Not Steve-O, your Steve ass, because you got drunk last night on stream to come on and get on with us and do a panel. You gotta whip it good. I can say that. Like, I don't know how well you know Dave. I've known Dave for fucking years, so. And he's always really mean to me, so I just started giving it back to him. He seems to like it. I don't know.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Senator.
That was quaint, but no, you gotta be forceful with Dave. Just follow up. He'll be like, "Oh shit, man, I forgot." Promise you. He's like, "You should message me." I've had it happen numerous times. I do love Dave, though. Everybody knows that, right? But I will give him a hard time. More international students are getting their visas revoked. Let's hear from an immigration attorney.
The Department of Homeland Security revoked visas and terminated the non-immigrant statuses of 2 current students and 5 recent graduates. Tonight at 6, an immigration attorney weighs in. Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 6. I'm Ciara Speller.
And I'm Nick Oresco. Several local universities say international students on campus are getting their visas revoked. This comes without any warning or explanation from the Trump administration.
22 News reporter Nicole Buddy joins us live in studio with what legal experts are now saying.
Oh, well, Dave's not here. Fuck Dave.
Over the weekend, we learned that 5 UMass Amherst students were among those who had their visas revoked. Now we're hearing from an attorney who says those on a student visa have little protection.
They're visiting the United States temporarily and they have to leave one as soon as their studies are over. So they have even less protections than a green card holder.
International students, temporary visitors on paper. Recently, the Trump administration has removed nearly 300 of them from the country with no explanation. Several students have had their visas revoked from UMass Boston, UMass Amherst, Northeastern, and Harvard. Some of the universities finding out about this in a routine records review. According to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the Trump administration is targeting those involved in protests or tied to potential criminal activity.
The courts have historically allowed the president to do whatever he wills with students, in a sense.
Attorney Fernandez says this immigration action hasn't been used in years. She also says the administration can revoke visas for national security reasons. What extent of free speech that includes has not been made clear.
This freedom that's in our Constitution, the freedom to say what you want, even against the government.
And we know hundreds of students' visas have been revoked across the nation.
But do we know what some of these students here in Massachusetts are involved with?
Well, Nick, Ciara, the Trump administration is calling these national security threats. We do know that some of these students have taken part in pro-Palestine protests, some of them written op-eds, but there have been some cases where they just haven't been a part of any related political events. So we'll have to see what the court decides.
Also, it's just not happening here in Massachusetts, but across
the
country.
country. We've seen some cases in California as well recently.
All right, thank you.
For no reason at all, I am going to show you this. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. On that note, I think we should say the Pledge of Allegiance. We haven't done that in a while. It feels it's the proper thing to do right now. So please stand. Put your hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Thank you very, very much for letting us little kids live here. It really, really was nice of you. You didn't have to do it. And it's really not freaky to have little kids mindlessly recite
good, kids. Now come and get your Ritalin.
I mean, that guy feels quaint at this point. Like, we're way beyond that. Like, that was fantastic satire for, Bush administration, Obama administration, America. I was having that argument with a libertarian, and he was like, "Why should I care about other people?" I was like, "My friend," because he kept saying like a trans woman wearing doing a drag show or something. A trans woman doing a drag show. Why should I care about a trans woman doing a drag show? Like, because if a trans woman can't do a drag show, what can they stop you from doing, my friend? Why don't you understand that? You do it for the concept of free speech, even if you don't agree with it. Like, I've heard right-wingers say that. Like, I'll defend your right to say it even if I don't agree with it. That turned out to be false now, didn't it? We've learned that fucking lesson. Let's talk about free speech in this fucking country. A senior DOJ immigration lawyer was put on leave after apologizing to an Obama judge who ordered deported MS-13 gang member. This is Gateway Pundit. But, like, I couldn't find a normal news source covering this. And I find this a senior DOJ immigration lawyer was put on leave after apologizing to the judge who ordered that the legal resident needed to be returned. A senior DOJ immigration lawyer was put on indefinite leave on Saturday after he apologized to a federal judge and appeared unprepared for the hearing in the case of an accused MS-13 gang member deported to El Salvador's prison. On Friday, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to return an alleged MS-13 gang member to the United States. And like they keep saying it over and over again. Fuck. U.S. District Judge of the U.S. District Court of the District of Maryland, Paula Zixis, an Obama appointee, ordered the Salvadorian gang member to be returned by Monday at midnight. I don't even think that's right. Wasn't it Bozeman? Didn't we just hear that it was like, can I even trust this? Okay, here's News Nation. But it does not link into like an actual tweet. God damn it. Is this it? The senior Justice Department immigration lawyer was put on indefinite leave on Saturday. A DOJ official tells News Nation, confirming New York Times. I'll accept it now. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche suspended Erez Ravini, the acting deputy director of the department's Immigration Litigation Division. Yep. Sounds right. Pam Bondi went on Fox News, that is our Attorney General, went on Fox News to argue that we're in a constitutional crisis. Not the way that she thinks we are, I guess.
The U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote on a bill to rein in what Republican lawmakers called activist federal judges. District judges across America, as you know, have been hitting the Trump administration. So far, 17 injunctions. Those are all tied to some of the 174.
It's just all lawfare. Oh, if we don't like it, it's lawfare. Whole lot of lawfare. This is just 100. Like, they had a veneer of respectability in the early 2010s, mid 2015, like you had a veneer. They at least had like their news section of their broadcasts were at least they were reporting news. They were never they had a veneer of respectability. That veneer is completely gone. The veneer is completely gone. There is no facade that they are any kind of a news agency other than the fact that they call themselves Fox News.
Lawsuits filed against the president's agenda. Now, reminder,
I am more of a news show than Fox News is, and they are more of a troll patrol than I am. Hands down.
President Trump has only been in office just over 2 months, exactly 77 days. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Over 170 lawsuits filed against us. That should be the constitutional crisis right there. 50 injunctions. They're popping up.
Have you tried not breaking the law?
Trying to control his executive power. It's basically a game of whack-a-mole with these district court judges around the country who have a tremendous amount of power. They believe they do. But that's why we're appealing all of these cases, of course, up to the Supreme Court.
Oh, they believe they have the power, all right. A new headline reads, as judges stymie Trump with nationwide orders, pressure builds on the U.S. Supreme Court. The Senate Judiciary Committee took up this topic in a hearing just last week.
Although our founders saw an important role for the judiciary, they didn't design a system that made judges national policymakers.
Democrats today are angry at the voters for re-electing Donald Trump and electing a Republican Senate and a Republican House, and they engaged in lawfare to stop democracy from operating.
You don't need to be some soothsayer or the oracle at Delphi to understand that there's something amiss here.
All right, let's talk to him ourselves and focus now. The senator you just saw in that last clip, Republican Eric Schmidt of the...
Let's not, Harris.
Member of...
Though... I like your eye makeup, your eyelashes, your what's that called? Mascara? Like your outfit. Harris, you can be my GOP mommy. Samson, welcome in. Last night I played you a clip of Kamala Harris saying, "I told you so."
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Tonight, let's hear from Tim Walz responding to Harris's comments.
Agriculture heavy state, one of the top 5 in the country, I believe. What's your reaction to what you just heard from the agriculture secretary?
Yeah, good morning, Jake. Well, I'm stunned. Your questions were spot on. It's very clear that she talked about the people she's listening to. That is not the agricultural community. It is certainly not producers. It's not folks like Cargill, CHS, General Mills, who are out in my district. Look, this is a really precarious time.
What happened to the person that was confused if I was left or right? What I want to know what they ended up. I should have done the Dan Crenshaw bit.
The flippant nature that we're just trying something new here is
really confused them. Bound, what's going on?
Years to develop, and we have to be dependable trading partners. They don't come back overnight, and everyone knows in the history of trade wars, agriculture gets hit the hardest. So I'm deeply concerned. It's our #1 export. Adding the tariffs, our 2 biggest export markets are Mexico and Canada. They're our great friends. This is just really, really terrifying. I would encourage, and I'll call the secretary, I'd encourage her to come to Minnesota and see everything.
Our great friends.
What's happening on the ground. So look, it's a precarious time.
So let me
pull the Tony the Tiger.
You're in touch with the United Auto Workers Union. You have a lot of that. They have supported you for years and years and years. They were.
No shit. We got a Bernie town hall on Wednesday. You guys want to do that? What say you, chat? You want Bernie town hall on Wednesday night?
We're excited to have you on the Democratic ticket. President Trump argues that these tariffs are needed to bring American manufacturing back and to help American workers left behind in places like Minnesota. He has support from the UAW. The UAW called his auto tariffs, quote,
I'm pretty much like that. Well, here's the thing, is like, we know what Bernie's going to say. We've heard the message. Not that I don't love fucking Bernie, right? But, like, he ain't going to tell us anything new. I'm glad he's on fucking CNN. The people on CNN need to hear his message more than we do. It's not for us. He speaks to us all the time. That one's not for us, but if you guys want to cover it, we'll do it.
along
I'm 50-50 on it.
From a harmful economic framework that has devastated the working class. It signals a return to policies that prioritize the workers who build this country rather than the greed of ruthless corporations, unquote. I have to say,
shit bound. I'm sorry about that.
Language you would use. What do you say to the UAW?
Yes. It is what I would use. And here's the thing that the Democrats have to figure out. Donald Trump's language around this, he's not wrong that we've had manufacturing gutted. He's not wrong that we saw an outshoring. People of my generation were
He's not wrong.
You know, there aren't going to be any manufacturing jobs, so you need to go to college and rack up student loan debt. The problem is Donald Trump's solution to this is not the solution. Now, UAW is right. Certain tariffs, if they're on to steel or if they're targeted correctly, do make a difference. That's not what we're dealing with here. So just last week, 650 taconite miners are laid off. Those taconite miners are mining the taconite to make the steel to build the automobiles. So I don't.
Wait a minute, we already watched this.
This is the Democratic dilemma.
I don't remember him responding to Harris.
The things that are real in the.
That only show like a minute clip.
He doesn't do a damn thing about it. In fact, he does just the opposite, and he pals around with the people that caused the problem. And we don't offer them a solution, so it looks like we're not hearing them. So I disagree with Sean Fain and UAW on this issue. I don't disagree with them on that we made decisions over the last 30 to 40 years that I don't think help where they're going to live or about their children's future, about real security. And so I
think I played his comments on the tariffs last night when we were doing the whole tariff story, and it was from this interview, but I didn't play him responding to Harris's "I told you so."
Question is spot on. I think we got intellectualized on this. I think the fact of the matter is Joe Biden did soft land the economy. He did usher us through COVID. None of us are saying we should be soft on the border, but we allow a vacuum, and Donald Trump fills it, the 800-pound gorilla, and their narrative starts to stick, and we look weak.
I'd get behind that, Flash.
Here we look like we look, Jake. I'm not going to say, you know, what we need to do is we need to just arrest people and ship them to El Salvador. No,
Crockett's in a safe
money on board.
congressional district. She's also older and already has experience.
We need to.
She's been working in law. She was a public defender. I'm down. Walls Crockett. I actually like that a lot.
Make sure if you're going to be in this country here legally, and when you are, you're going to be uplifted, celebrated, and part of this great American tapestry. We didn't do that, and then it fills them. They'll find the example that is horrific where you have someone who's not here legally and they commit a crime. That is horrific, but we don't do a good job of telling that.
Don't you think your party needs to acknowledge that President Biden was not up for the job of running for re-election and that this was a major mistake?
Well, here's the thing, is it wasn't the party forced him out, but does nobody know how anything works? It was always Biden's decision. I guess there's an argument that yes, the party could have held a primary. They could have forced a primary on him. They're very tradition oriented, and the tradition is always just if the president wants to run again, and I said it. I said, it was always Biden's decision. He had the electors. That's how that works. When I had because I went back and watched the conversation I had with Pentuple the other day, and I'm trying to explain to him how the primary system works. He has no fucking clue. He's like, don't you feel cheated? It's time for guillotines. I won't do the whole thing again.
He made that decision.
I know, but you all went along with the idea that he was up for it, and he wasn't. And everybody saw it, and the country...
The governor of fucking Minnesota had nothing to say about whether Biden was going to run again. What the fuck, Jake Tapper?
Did it?
Yeah, well, look, history will tell us to go back on that. That very well could be the case, Jake. What I'm concerned about is learning from those lessons. I would hope we would never do it again, make a mistake, make sure we go through and get someone. But I don't...
Oh, yeah, he's totally running for president because, that's my response. I would have been like, I'm the governor of Minnesota. It was his decision. This motherfucker is talking like he's the head of the party now. Go for it, dude. If you can take it, do it.
Where it helps us going forward.
That's a strategic thing.
Concerned that Donald Trump is going to lead us down a horrific... Look, thank God it's tariffs that he said. Donald Trump listens to no one. Remember, Donald Trump has statements about, I don't think nuclear war would be that bad. I guess we're lucky that he went after tariffs instead of that route. Yeah. We have an issue in this country that is going to impact us. And if there is not a loyal opposition, if there's not some soul...
I wonder if Bernie regrets not running as an independent. Maybe not in 2016, but at least in 2020. Because he could have won. He could have fucking won. He could have fucking won. I think he would have took a huge chunk of Trump voters. Not only that, I think he would have animated a voting bloc that doesn't vote. I think it's clear that Bernie would have won. And guys, I think Bernie is also running in 2028. I know I got some pushback on that last night. Fucking town hall on CNN. He's running in 2028. And somebody even mentioned it. Like, I don't think he wants to. Like, no, I know he doesn't want to. He feels like he's got to. Hate is a hell of a motivator. Or passion is a hell of a motivator as well. Let's put it, passion is a hell of a motivator.
On our side, if there's not reaching out to those folks who are in the streets, they're leading right now.
So quick question.
I would tell everybody, you better get with them. Yeah.
Quick question, because we got to go. But you said you're not going to run for the Senate seat there. Are you going to run for a third term for governor? Are you possibly going to run for president in 2028?
Well, I'm certainly thinking about running again in Minnesota if that's what they want. I am not thinking about running in 2028. And my advice...
Oh, he absolutely is.
If in this moment you're planning for 2028, you're going to get rolled by the people in the streets. You just need to be out there making sure you're helping and doing things like Cory Booker's doing things like...
But that's the right answer.
See things that we see people out talking.
Well, not Cory Booker.
For me,
I'm glad he said
legislative
people in the street
if
first.
Folks in Minnesota want me. I'm kind of inclined to do that. And I just want to play my part to make sure we cannot afford to allow Donald Trump or his successor to go forward because you're seeing the pain.
Good to have you back here, Governor Walz. Today.
Happy birthday, 61 there.
61. Thanks so much.
Good to see you.
I'm totally cool with Tim Walz. I've been talking about him a lot since he got elected in November. I've very much been looking forward to him. I don't even know if this is that good of a clip. This is from a week ago, but Forbes just posted it, so it's bound to be good. Youngest presidential candidate, like, dude, seriously. But I think Bernie should do it mainly because he beats Trump's record of oldest president. That would be awesome. Here is the newly elected senator from West Virginia. This is Joe Manchin's replacement. I think it's kind of a good thing. Joe Manchin was just a Republican anyway, right? So isn't it better that we get a fun Republican that we'll get to make fun of instead of having a fucking feckless Democrat?
Thank you so much. Let me just say things about the state of West Virginia.
Yes, I want to pontificate.
Second. I'm a coach. I'm with the kids all the time. And I've been that way forevermore. Probably that's why I've got all this white hair. I'm really only 46 years old. No.
Oh my God!
I've coached as many games as I've coached.
See? Do you guys not understand why I've been waiting for him to get into the Senate? This has got to be amazing.
And I've coached 1,300 and some games. And with all that being said,
he's not fired up right now,
white
though.
Hair pretty easily. But you get white hair a lot easier if you just absolutely are there with the kids and you see what they're going through. You know, if you think in West Virginia, 1 out of every 5 kids faces food insecurity
His chair is twice as big as everyone else's. Look at that shit. They had to have a special chair because his ass is so fat. He couldn't sit in a normal chair. I shouldn't mock him.
Every single day. It's sad beyond belief. You know, when I was the governor in West Virginia, we made a real priority to try to some way, somehow.
And here he is talking about kids' health. Oh my God. His chair is twice the size of anyone else's chair because he's so fucking fat. And we're at the Senate Agriculture Committee hearing on reviewing Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act.
Something about hunger. Do something about our food banks.
Oh, you know something about hunger, all right.
Here to do something that is so precious, it's off the chart.
Probably hungry right now.
Now, it's unusual that the First Lady of West Virginia, when I was the governor, and my wife, Kathy, is with me today. She did something that is off the chart. She did something with communities and schools that was absolutely...
You guys want to see a picture of his wife?
Helping kids that were in real need. Now, just think about it. We're absolutely looking at the possibility...
Picture of Governor Justice with his wife.
And how much meaningfulness that whole milk could bring to our children. Absolutely, many of our kids in our schools in West Virginia, these are the primary meals of their whole day. That's all there is to it.
That's baby dog.
We can't step up and do the right thing for nutrition for our children. And God knows there's many, many, many things that our kids are putting in their bodies that they shouldn't be putting in. That's all there is to it. But one of those things is not whole milk, in my opinion. With all that being said, also, being a coach and not just athlete.
I've never seen his wife before.
I want you to pay really close.
Oh, she's kind of a lovely lady.
This.
She's like my friend's
Kids
mom.
want good stuff to eat today. You may think that kids just want junk to eat today. You know, in all honesty, imagine this. Imagine
that's Kathy Justice.
A high school kid that's playing on your basketball team that has never eaten a candy bar in his life. You know, it's really true. Now, with all that being said, I am telling you, you have the attention of our children today. Our kids want to do better. They really do. And we have an opportunity to step up.
What is he advocating? Like, he said it was a shame that a kid that has been training in sports has never had a candy bar in his life. Is that what he just said? Senator Fat Ass is like, we need more candy bars for the kids.
And that's exactly what we should be doing. We should be trying in every possible way we possibly can to make our kids healthier, to absolutely give them the nutrition that they need. And I am absolutely, wholeheartedly, and not as a pun, but I am wholeheartedly in favor of moving forward with whole milk. So
he's in favor of moving forward with whole milk.
With all that being said, I defer my remaining time to our Madam Chairman.
Cancel me. Cancel Justin. That was horrible. That was a horrible segment that I'm totally going to clip out and put on YouTube. Republican senator floats using violence against journalists who report fake news. He loves to fight. My name is Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, and I love to fight. Mullen recounted that a reporter fatally shot a former congressman in 1890. Adding there might be less fake news if we could still handle our differences that way. Wow. Wow. First of all, can somebody look up who that was? Who's the reporter that shot a congressman? I've not heard that one. I feel like that's one I'd be aware of.
This is like a murder mystery, but the mystery's already been solved. Once again, just kind of interesting facts while we're doing this all-night vote-a-rama. Once again, it's going to have zero outcome, but let the Democrats throw their tantrum. So where we're standing is in the little stairways. It's got a whole big old echo.
Wasn't even in 1880. It wasn't even in 1889 or 1890. What he said. It was in 1887. Charles Kincaid, a newspaper correspondent, fatally shot former Congressman William Talby of Kentucky. That makes sense. He was from Kentucky. The two men had a volatile history, which began in 1887 when they were feuding. When Kincaid wrote a story implicating Talby in an extramarital affair. And he got triggered. Talby opted not to run for a third term. However, his work as a lobbyist kept him in close proximity to Kincaid, who covered Congress for the Louisville Times. During the next few years, Talby and Kincaid traded verbal insults. On the day of the shooting, house doorkeepers had to separate the two men, the Tall and Sinwy. Sinwy? I've never heard the word Sinwy. Consisting sinewy. Okay, there we go. That makes sense to me now. The tall and sinewy Talby allegedly warned the slight reporter, described in a contemporary account as a little pint of cider feller, to arm himself. Kincaid later met up with Talby and shot the former representative on the east staircase of the House wing of the Capitol. The media widely covered the shocking event for the first time in the memory of man. A gunshot was heard in the national Capitol today. Wouldn't be the last. And the marble steps of the staircase leading from the House floor to the restaurant below were stained with human blood. Talby eventually succumbed to the gunshot wound and died on March 11th. A jury acquitted Kincaid on the grounds of self-defense. I agree with Mark Wayne Mullen. We should reinstitute being able to shoot Congress people and get away with it. Anyway, you were saying, Mark Wayne.
But an interesting fact about this stairway is there was a reporter named Kincaid that did a story on a former member of Congress named Talby. Now, Kincaid wrote a story about Talby having an affair. Talby.
I bet it was true too.
Talby, however you say last name, Congressman Talby, decided that
because if he probably had to present his evidence to a jury, like the story I wrote was true, he was just a triggered little baby.
He wasn't going to run for re-election, so he became a lobbyist. Those two continued to cross paths, and they hated each other with a passion.
I am for reporters shooting lobbyists. Yes, I am with Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. He sold me on this.
One day, it kind of spewed over, and Talby was on the House floor. The lobbyist, or the reporter was around. They got into altercation. Talby literally threw him off the floor. Kincaid got mad, went home, got a gun. As they were coming down the stairs, Kincaid decided he had enough and shot the former congressman in the face. Where this blood is, you can see the stains still on the stairway. 11 days later, the former congressman passed away from his wounds. Kincaid pleaded not guilty and was found innocent. Now, there's a lot we could say about reporters and the stories they write, but I bet they would write a lot less false stories, as President Trump says, fake news, if we could still handle our differences that way. Hey, guys.
But in the story, the reporter shot the congressman. Mark Wayne Mullen, you said there would be more fake news and used an example of a reporter shooting a congressman. You absolute dumb motherfucker. This is why I call right-wingers fucking morons. Yeah, and he thought he was making a good point. He's just like, yeah, we agree with you, man. Fucking A.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
And now here is the question. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, I would like to ask you, point blank, are you going to testify on Luigi Mangione's behalf at his trial? I think you should give testimony on behalf of Luigi Mangione. Rudy was spotted at Walmart the other day buying hair dye. It's like a Walmart in Pennsylvania or some shit. Buying hair dye. I'm not high enough for this shit, Julie. He really didn't get his own analogy, did he? I tried to say his name right. How did I say it? Oh, Marquain. Like moron. Marquain. I'll try to do it. Marquain. WNBC. A man took out a gun and threatened protesters in Lafayette at an anti-Trump rally. The police apparently let him go, said he was just defending himself. The rallies took place over the weekend. Bystanders, this was Lafayette, Indiana. Bystanders at an anti-Trump rally in downtown Lafayette said a man angry about traffic jumped out of a truck, pulled on a Trump shirt, retrieved a gun from his vehicle, and threatened protesters before being handcuffed and driven away by Lafayette police. Police spokesman said later Saturday that the officers determined the man did not point the gun at anyone, and he was later released. Hundreds showed up at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse as part of the national hands-off mass mobilization movement involving cities around the country. That was on Saturday. This is the video of the incident. He definitely seemed like the aggressor. The dude headbutted him, but you know, you can't just be up in somebody's face like that. He's yelling in his face. He keeps moving forward. Oh, is this his wife? Yeah, little baby. Do you know how many right-wingers I've been told over the last few days in a certain situation? Like, well, why can't you handle a fist fight? Why, you got to go get a weapon. It's clearly murder. He had a weapon. It's clearly murder. He had a weapon. Nobody can handle a fist fight anymore. This is a right-wing dipshit. Got dealt with. He fucked around and found out. I hope he broke his nose. I think he did. Oh my God, I'm doing a lot of fat shaming tonight, but come the fuck on. What is that?
Let's go! Let's go!
Well, we're in Indiana, so it's probably like an open carry state or some shit. So unless he points it at somebody, he's pointing at somebody right there. He is not exercising proper gun control. He's being incredibly reckless with it. That's what I keep hearing is responsible gun owners. Responsible gun owners. Look at the way this motherfucker is carrying that gun. He is not responsible in any way. He is totally pointing it at the crowd right there. 100%.
Let's go! Let's go!
I should call the police station and be like, we are watching it on video. He pointed the gun at the crowd. That is not proper handling of a firearm. That's a little bitch with a gun. He's pointing it at old ladies and shit right now.
Platform fascist! Platform fascist! Platform fascist! Platform fascist!
He was the aggressor before he got headbutted. That's why he got headbutted. One more time. He's moving forward. He's in their face. He pushed him there. This dude had to pull him back. Boom, headbutt. That was just a warning. You can't move forward on somebody like that. 911! Yelling in their face.
Let's go! Let's go!
That's exactly right. Fancy truck, very well fed. He's upset about the anti-fascism protests. Somebody saying he was having a verbal confrontation. Now, the other person had to back up several feet. Like, he was clearly the aggressor. See? This guy's just pushing him back. Bonder Monkey, War Machine. Of course that's your husband. He deserves a titty slap. Just because he's got titties.
Come on now.
I'm going to show you guys titty slap. I'm going to show you where that comes from. I'm going to show you where Steiner math comes from. All on the 5th anniversary. Troll Patrol Live. Sunday, 4/20. Noon Eastern. So the protests were pretty large. Some of the largest protests in the history of the country. But I got news for you guys. If you thought that this was a example of direct action, I hate to inform you. All of these protesters were paid to be there. This was all 100% astroturfed. They have blown the lid right off of the scandal.
I just found this video on X, and it says that this woman was a paid protester at a hands-off protest. She details what she had to do to get paid. They told her not to wear anything MAGA, and she could not wear red, so she wore a black shirt and jeans. They also told her she would get paid if she brought a sign. Again, nothing MAGA. So she brought a "Everyone Deserves an Education" sign. They told her she had to march around at the end. In order to get paid, she had to answer an 8-question questionnaire. She said the
march around, even gave somebody a reach around.
And if you wanted to get paid, you had to answer them correctly from a liberal mindset. Share this everywhere, as I keep seeing people say that no one was paid. They were definitely paid. So here I am, sharing it. Let's watch this together.
I was one of the paid protesters at the April 5th liberal protests. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about my experience.
All paid protesters.
And how much I got paid. So there were two kind of parts to it. The first was obviously just showing up. They gave me like a time and a place.
This guy thinks he's on to something too.
A girl with blue hair and a nose ring, which like I thought would be really hard because I thought like everyone was going to look like that. But luckily she was the only one. It was really easy to find her. So yeah, that was good. I checked in. They told you that you couldn't wear anything MAGA. They also asked you not to wear red. So I just wore a black t-shirt and jeans. And how
old do you think she is? Just curious, how old do you think she is? Based on her visual.
25, 26, 27, something like that.
Speaks. Based on.
Oh, they totally think they've blown the case wide open.
52 seconds of this video.
They've proven it.
And I'm going to do a little bit of digging.
He's going to do some digging.
Red said blue. TikTok. And I don't know if we can find her because it didn't automatically pull up her account. Red said, oh, here's this new authentication bullshit. Got to help the AI learn, right? Red said blue. Oh, there it is. Google didn't want to find her for some reason. Interesting.
You got to go into TikTok. Same with YouTube
so here
videos.
She is. 71 followers. And
click on one of the videos.
Watching this. Probably that one right there.
Yes. Click on that one. Click on the one next to it. You're so close.
And number 2, what is her political affiliation? We'll dig a little bit deeper after we conclude with her video review.
Are you going to dig deeper?
I checked in and then they said just like go on the march. And then at the end there would be like a questionnaire to answer. Oh, and then the other thing is
does he get to the truth? That's what I want to know.
So I did bring a sign. Again, same thing, like couldn't be MAGA.
Because let me tell you, the person who posted this video, if he gets to the truth, that person didn't. They didn't watch the whole thing.
Liberal agenda. So my sign said, everyone deserves a good education, which like I don't necessarily personally agree with. Like,
oh my God,
you're gonna be a server or like a mechanic, like you don't really need an education, but
wow. I know that's definitely going to trigger a lot of folks in the comments section, especially folks who have those jobs. I was actually trying to read the words that were written on her t-shirt here. But I can't make that out. But now I'm wondering, where is this going? Where did this come from?
Do you find out the truth?
Because me personally, I mean, granted, I'm definitely older, smarter.
No, you're not.
Plenty of mistakes in the past. Maybe her age has, there's a factor here. Maybe her small-mindedness and obvious lack of education.
Oh my God!
About education will kind of fill in the blanks here, but no matter what, if someone tells me I'm going to get paid, great. How much? Because literally saying you're going to get paid to show up at a protest, saying you're going to get paid extra.
He's not going to find the truth, is he? And he just bragged about how smart he is.
We'll continue on.
I wanted to fit in. I wanted the money. And I didn't want to like draw attention to myself. So that's what I went with. So anyways, I went on the march, and then at the end I had to check back in, and that's when they gave me the questionnaire. And okay, the interesting thing is like you had to answer the questionnaire as if you were a liberal, and there were right and wrong answers. Like it wasn't just like whatever you thought. Like you could get the questions wrong, and you had to get them right in order to get paid.
All right. So based on so far, we've been in this for a little over 2 minutes. I'm going to say she's neither. I'm going to say she's neither independent swing, neither because
I'm going to say you're dumb and she's mocking you.
About to land on in this video here. Because
this is amazing.
I would say if no matter how hard up you were for money, I don't think a Republican would do it. I don't think a conservative would do it.
At this point, I had already invested like 2 hours of my time, so I wanted the money, you know? So the first question, for example, was why do Republicans want more women to stay home and not work and not have jobs?
And real quick, if anybody out there finds themselves in a situation where they're willing to spend 2 hours of their time protesting for a completely bullshit
brother, if anybody finds himself in a situation where they're making a 20-minute video
cause, whatever, hands off and indivisible, and
they're falling for a joke that's mocking them,
don't do it. Spend 2 hours with me.
And this video is still up, brother.
You'll make way more money, and you won't have to lose your freaking.
Has anyone told you yet?
And again, I just kind of like had to put myself in like their mindset. So I wrote basically like if women don't have jobs or job experience,
I've got to know, man.
Rely on men financially, and that gives men a lot more control.
I feel like Carlos Mencia in that episode of South Park where he's like,
you know, if like
get it, just get it,
She
man.
put herself in a liberal mindset, which would insinuate she's not. Okay, but that's loose at best, considering the fact that she even engaged.
Don't call her loose. You know nothing about her.
To bring awareness, she did this for the money. Okay, let's be clear here. And the elephant in the room: Republican men don't want women having jobs. Where did that come from?
Oh, they all fucking say it all the time.
Situation or whatever, she can't really leave, especially if she has kids. She doesn't really have the means to take care of them, and she doesn't have the experience to get a job.
I believe this is a black Republican. Is that your stay-at-home wife?
Gives like the men a lot more control.
There's a whole movement about it, the trad wife thing.
So that was my answer for the first one, and I got that right. But there were some that I just like didn't really know.
So this isn't about getting the answers right or wrong. This is about brainwashing and indoctrination with propagandized rhetoric in exchange for, I hope she says how much money it is.
I know his wife looks like a Muppet.
I already know it's not going to be very much.
You got like a real beaker looking head back there.
The left.
Oh, I'm so mean tonight.
Of the right trying to control women.
Igloo, welcome in.
Money, jobs, and children. Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, right? Hey, fix me a sandwich, damn it. But the left doesn't want women to have children. The left doesn't even want women.
What?
What they would consider our right answer, you know? So I just...
My friend, I've been arguing with these dipshits on Discord. Their entire audience is nothing but men. I got news for you, like, half my audience is women. Oh, I think maybe over half is women, so sorry.
I was like, what do I do? I don't know how to answer this. And
Metal Dog fan, welcome in.
Just like do your best and then come talk to her at the end. So for example, there was one I didn't really know what to say. It was like,
what is critical
race theory? And Why should it be taught? And like, what's an example of like?
She didn't know what to say because Republicans have no idea what critical race theory is.
Didn't know what they wanted the answer to be, So I just asked her about that one, and the answer that she gave is basically they just want people to understand the lasting effects and impact of segregation and discrimination. And the example she gave, what she called it like generational wealth. And she explained that during slavery and during Jim Crow and like even after that in some places, like Black families have been essentially barred from owning homes.
She's educating them. She's doing such a good job.
And like pass that down, and their family can either like live in that home and not have to pay for a mortgage, or they could sell that and then use that money towards like other opportunities.
All right, so guys, here's the deal. This video, here's my take.
Come on, man, give us your take.
As it is, but I'm gonna be real with you guys, be honest. I don't think she actually went to the rally. I don't think she, and if she did, it wasn't for the reasons that she said. This test alone is bullshit because it sounds like it's a fill in the blank. It's not even a multiple choice. So how do you get the answer right? And who's grading it? And when do you get paid? Like, these are all questions that are rolling around in my head. But in fact,
he's starting to have some critical thoughts here.
She got paid to make this video because this video in itself embeds so much psychological, or so much of a psychological mind game to spread and spew this nonsense and this bullshit and this crap from the perspective of don't shoot the messenger. I just needed to get paid. I had to put myself in there.
Oh my God, brother.
I think they want me to say. That's what this is, okay? And so I apologize now. We're doing this in real time. I did not know where this was going to go.
I'm glad.
I am not trying to spread this propaganda, but I am trying to spread.
Oh my God, she did such a good job that he had to turn it off like this is too effective. But he doesn't understand that it's a lefty or a liberal educating his dumb ass. But he gets that something's off about it. I love it.
Awareness, inform, educate, and help you guys understand, identify, pick up on the truth.
You ain't helping anybody understand shit. You a dumb motherfucker.
Help this be an effective teaching moment, teachable moment from this lesson learned. Because some people they would watch it and they wouldn't, I don't think that they would get that. And maybe I'm off base. You guys feel free. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if you've seen this already.
Does he ever come around? Does he look at the rest of her TikTok?
Aren't cheap anymore. And you might have spent $10 making that sign to get $10 for it, which you wouldn't have known going into it because you didn't ask the question of how much you were going to get paid. Woke mind virus infected.
What?
Let alone the fact that this isn't a recurring income.
We'll see who cancels.
If you needed money that bad, what are you going to do next day? We're going to do next week, next month. Freaking morons. Idiots. I'm curious, yet reluctant to go down this rabbit hole of the other 5 videos here.
They're probably all mocking you as well.
Red said blue and her mindset, her mentality. And her profile picture says, we should stop calling feminists. We should stop calling feminists and start calling non-feminists sexist. And her t-shirt says, we should all be feminists. I'm going to leave that one there. Let me know your thoughts. Hey, and by the way, there's links down below in the description. And there's going to be more links coming soon because I got a big sponsor coming up that you guys are not going to want to miss.
A big sponsor coming up. Okay. Did he realize it was satire? Was he smart enough to realize it was satire? And that if he correctly said what it was, that he would lose his audience, so he had to come up with this weird psychological warfare shit? Because you gotta tell him about the sponsor you got coming up. Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, I could get that sponsorship too, brother. Oh my God, he has 217,000 subscribers. How the fuck? How in the fuck? Yeah, you can see me commenting, but nobody has commented or interacted with it. Idiot right-wingers will believe anything. These comments are wild. I'm offended because my son's going to college to be a diesel mechanic. It's so weird how young women today talk about marriage, relationships, and men as if we're living in the 50s.
Onishi,
His channel is... Whoa, they've changed the about. Where's the about? There we go. He's got 56 million views. Just started 2 years ago. How the fuck? And that's the kind of content you get from this guy. Has no goddamn idea what he's talking about. No idea that what he was watching was a complete joke mocking his dumb ass.
I satired too close to the pits of hell. And I...
Oh, the goddamn captcha.
I posted a satire video, and I thought that was obvious. And before I get into that, I just want to say, like, anyone can post anything on the internet. Anyone can say anything. They can post anything. They can share anything, apparently. Don't believe what you hear on the internet. I posted a video that I thought was obviously satire, which if you don't know what satire is, I'm realizing some people might not.
Tim says satire.
It's when you say something as if it were true, but it's so absurd that it's obvious that it's not true. And so I posted a video about a paid protester. I truly thought it was so obvious that it was a joke. And I thought that anyone who did take it seriously, like if they shared it,
Was a dumbass?
the next person would be like, bro, that's satire.
Yeah, you
That's not
fell
what
for it.
So I posted a video saying I was a paid protester. Basically, the character realizes that everything that they are protesting for is like really reasonable and like, you know, agreeable, makes sense. The weird thing is like people did get to that part. Like it wasn't like, oh, they only watched like the first 10 seconds and ran with that. Like,
yeah,
they really did watch till the end and they still didn't get it. So if you saw a video saying that there's a paid protester, or if someone's told you they saw a video that there's a paid protester, send them this. That was fake. That was satire. It was a joke. It's not real. Don't post satire on TikTok. Don't believe everything you see on TikTok. Question everything.
Watching it fly over his head was amazing. And watching the gears turn. And then him saying that he was a smart guy or educated or whatever he said. Bravo. Bravo. I cannot wait to clip this for YouTube and troll the shit out of his Twitter with this clip. He's big enough that I can get some traction off of it, but he's probably small enough that I can get his attention, so wish me luck on that one. I wish I wasn't on TikTok. I gotta be. I gotta put my shit everywhere. Of course, I'm not on... The Troll Patrol's not on TikTok, unfortunately. I can show you guys exactly why I'm not on TikTok. I have to do clips only because we can't do the live show. Your live Argue With Me About Politics Now has been discontinued because of a violation against alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. Light one up, tip one back. Oh, Torchy, the most amazing video of a dumb fuck right-winger not realizing he was being trolled and talking about how smart he was. It was awesome. Nancy Mace says she won't be doing any town halls because, you know, it's all paid protesters. Like the young lady we just saw. I love the font. God, I think she's using my font that I use on the Troll Patrol thumbnails and shit. Not this font that's on the logo below it. But I think that's what I use, like, on my thumbnails and shit, I use that font. Nancy, you still in my shit?
Boarding our flight for
Therese, welcome in
this week, but we've been calling the folks
Fleabag,
fake town hallers, those who say they
War
want
Machine,
a town hall. They
Doggy,
don't really want a town hall. Asking them, you know, what their complaint is, what we haven't done for them, or what they think we haven't done for them. Their only complaint is that they hate Donald Trump and they want to see Elon Musk dead. Those are the types of people who want this town hall. They don't have needs with our office or any federal agency. They don't need any help from a constituency standpoint. They're just full of it. They hate Donald Trump.
See the Molotovs in the chat.
Too bad, because I love some Donald Trump and I love some Elon Musk. All the way, MAGA baby.
Hey Nancy, if you love Elon so much, he'll totally have a child with you. I think he'll. I was getting ready to say he'll fuck anyone. He won't fuck anyone. He ain't fucking nobody. But if you wanna get the splooge like shot up in you with a turkey baster, I think Elon will totally hook you up with that. Maybe he does have a weird young woman fetish, even though he's not fucking them. It's odd. Okay, Elon won't put a turkey baster up your cunt, but I'll throw you a bone. You can totally be my GOP mommy, Nancy. Grr. I don't know. She's kind of red flag. I don't know. I could not. Okay. Joni Ernst. I really think I can fix her, right? Oh my God, if you weren't here the other day, Curiouser was here live with me. And it was the Cory Booker day. And after Cory Booker got finished speaking, Joni Ernst got up. And I'm like, that's a good looking lady. And Curiouser was like, yeah, that is a really good looking lady. Who is that? And I was like, are you serious? You don't know who that is? Like, that's my future GOP mommy, Joni Ernst. But I don't know that I could fix Joni Ernst, and Joni hasn't had any super overt transphobia that I know of, out in public. Nancy has, so I might not be able to get over the transphobia, because that's a big issue with me right now. I gotta look out for my trans homies. Carla, good evening. Welcome in, my friend. Curiouser, she has really nice hair. That's why it's infuriating that she used to have short hair. She used to have short hair, and she wasn't I don't like short hair on women. I don't like short hair on men either. But when she had short hair, she wasn't attractive to me. Now that she's grown her hair out, We really got to stick up for my trans homies, because they are under attack right now in this country. And fucking, I thought that now that the right has taken power, it might subside a little bit. Holy shit, it's not. Holy fuck. So content warning on this next one. We did fencing. What was last night? Archery or some shit? And I'm like, wow, how does anybody have an advantage in archery? Do you want to know what they're coming after now? Unfair advantage in pool.
Two transgender athletes reached the finals of a UK Women's Pro Pool Championship match, triggering a huge backlash. Harriet Haynes and Lucy Smith beat 4 women each to reach the Ultimate Pool Women's Pro Series final.
Why is pool gendered?
The event was held at Robin Park Leisure Center in Wigan, with over a dozen top female competitors. Both competitors defeated 4 female opponents each to get to the championship bout. Haynes defeated Smith 8-6 in the championship and defended her 2024 title as the top-ranked women's player. Harriet Haynes defeated
Good for her.
Smith 8-6 in the final of a Women's Pro Series event.
Because they're women.
8 events on the Ultimate Pool Group's 2024.
Look at them! They are clearly women! Like, ugh. They're clearly women. Look at... The party told you not to believe what you could see with your own eyes. Jesus Christ.
Of a Women's Pro Series event. One of 8 events on the Ultimate Pool Group's 2025 women's circuit. Both athletes were born male but identify as female and compete under current World 8 ball.
If they have an advantage, and I'm sorry if I'm out of line saying this, if they have an advantage in pool, it has nothing to do with their gender, and it probably has to do with the tism.
Ball Pool Federation and Environmental Protection Agency rules. Their participation drew strong criticism from sports figures like Piers Morgan and Sharon Davies. Critics called it unfair to women athletes and accused the sport of disrespecting its female players. The controversy comes as nearly 900 biological women lost podium spots to trans athletes.
Oh, that's bullshit. That is a bullshit claim. Thank you. Like, I know that's a bullshit claim. Because, like, fucking John Oliver destroyed it last night. Destroyed it. The Economic Times is usually a reputable liberal. It's liberal. It's neoliberal. But it's usually reputable and good about its reporting. That 900 number is bullshit. It wasn't from the UN. It was a report submitted to the UN, and it counted things like a fucking, I think John Oliver said an Idaho fun run or some shit. And it was all self-reporting. It was all self-reporting like theirs. Since the Economic Times wants to be, kind of biased in their reporting, I think it's important that we hear from Harriet Haynes, who is literally doing this to advance trans rights. Pool player fights ban from women's event in court. Oh shit, we got a video, but guess it won't play on this this browser here. Hold on a second. So let's let her tell her story.
They removed trans women from competing against biological women. I wouldn't be allowed to compete in the female section. To almost be called a threat, I just couldn't really deal with that at that time. I thought that was an extreme wording. I've never really considered myself a trailblazer. I'm just a woman who is trying to live their life. I'm Harriet Haynes. I play pool at regional and international level.
What's she playing? That's not 8-ball. What is that? It's not billiards.
Pool is my hobby and
it's pool.
Love, really. In pool, every break is different. There's going to be clusters of balls that you have to solve and sort out, and it's a puzzle that you can never really solve. My mum was a pool player. She played for a team in Basingstoke. I remember her bringing back a trophy. Was really, really proud of her. Yeah, I just witnessed women playing pool, and it was just a normal occurrence for me to see other women playing pool. I was always interested in playing pool And then when I transitioned, I was working at 9 to 5 for the first time, and it meant I could go out.
Okay, so let's be obvious. That picture was while she was very, very young. So she transitioned early. So she has been a woman, living as a woman for years and years and years.
More often, and that's kind of where I really got the bug for it and got a lot better.
As if it would matter.
I found it really homely at the academy in Basingstoke. It was a really safe place to go, and everyone was very welcoming there. I kind of just felt really safe and just enjoyed the game. Last year, I was removed from the English Blackball Pool Federation's female category. They removed trans women from competing against biological women. I received a phone call stating that they
How'd they even know she was trans?
On trans women competing. The English Blackball Pool Federation never contacted me. They released a statement almost identical to the other statements that were released.
Which term, Carla? I will erase it from my vocabulary.
I was shocked. To say that it was so that they could play in a safer environment kind of meant that trans women were a threat to other women, when actually on the circuit we were just treated like other women in social circles. We sit with each other in the bar, chat. Yeah, it was bizarre, really. It was something that I just couldn't really deal with at that time. I thought that was a extreme wording. Trans women have been playing pool in the women's section for many, many years. The sport was always really, really welcoming, and that's why I kind of felt at home playing it. Up and down the country, women beat men on a daily basis. Yesterday I witnessed a woman player in the Premier Division beat 3 different men. It happens every single day of the week. This is the...
Well, that's another, like with the fencer the other day, she ended up finishing like 24th or something. So, yes, biological, I hate that term too. I thought I might have said something that was insensitive.
Champ of the Champions from 2018. It was the first year that I was playing in the EPA, and I managed to qualify for the Champ of the Champions, and then go through and beat the current world champion en route, and then win the final. Very, very proud of that. It brings back good memories. Probably one of the best atmospheres I played in. Under pressure from our legal team, they still haven't withdrawn the ban, unfortunately. We are due in court on the 7th of April 2025, which has taken almost 2 years to get there.
So that's today.
It's been a long, long time coming.
For yesterday in the UK.
The courts see our side, and that they put this to bed really for us. It's affecting me.
Let me see if I can get an update on that case.
Blackball side of things, with the Kent team that I've been playing with since 2019, who are kind of like a family, and I miss playing with them, and they miss me. I've been playing pool as well for the past year with this on my shoulders, really, and it's a big burden to have. And I've just been living my life as best they could up until now, and just trying to get through it every day. So it will just be a massive relief if we win the case.
Well, I totally think right-wingers know what they're doing when they say biological women.
Proved with the experts, trans women have no advantage. It's pool. We're not talking about boxing or golf.
We're never going to use that term because we're going to refer to our trans homies properly and use the proper pronouns. So, there's no reason for biological woman to be in our vocabulary. It's a slur used by the right.
My Q is 16 ounces. I should be allowed to continue playing in the female competitions. You know, I am a woman. I have a gender recognition certificate. I'm treated like a woman on every other basis of my life. I have no advantage. We're going to be proven that in court. So I should be allowed to play in the women's section.
I don't even know how you can have an advantage in pool.
I've never really considered myself.
It's about finesse.
I'm just
and geometry.
Trying to live their life. And all I want to do is just be treated the same as any other woman. I'm treated like a woman every single day of my life. And this is the only aspect of my life where I'm not, which hurts a lot. I will continue to seek fair.
I believe if you need to make the distinction, saying assigned female would be the preferable way, but I will defer to others. This is not my place to say. They argue that trans women are able to hit their break shot with greater speed. What? I would assume that. How can you say they can hit it with greater speed? If you hit it too fucking hard, it's going to fly off the table. So being able to hit hard is not a ideal thing in pool. Speed and speed are not critically important factors. Yeah,
Are people born wicked?
Get the fuck out of here with that ad. On Monday, Ms. Hayes told Canterbury County Court that my success in pool in general is down to my efforts, whether in the women's section or open section. She said that I would say that coaching helped me progress. A big part of my life was playing country ladies black ball pool, something she now cannot do. Ms. Haynes said that she was offered the capacity. Is that what that says? Captaincy. Am I fucked up? Or is that just a new word that I've never heard before? Captaincy? What the fuck is going on here? The rank, post, or commission of captain. Captaincy. Captaincy. I've never seen that written like that. That's twice tonight that it's gotten me. The captaincy of the Kent ladies team, but could not take it up because of the EBPF ban. Ms. Crother, cross-examining Ms. Haynes, said you point to various features of your game that you say are your strengths. You say it's down to practice and technique. Ms. Haynes responded, I would say practice, definitely yes. When asked if she would accept the proposition that on average males have an advantage over females, Ms. Haynes responded that she wouldn't know enough about the subject, adding, I'm not an expert on it. Which it is it's unfair to the trans population to put this on them. Like, they shouldn't have to defend their existence. Ms. Haynes has submitted expert evidence that argues that transgender women do not have an advantage over cis women when playing pool. In an expert report submitted as part of her case, an MIT professor argues that as long as the player can break above a certain speed, which is achievable to both sexes, there is no inherent advantage gained by a higher cue velocity. Exactly! You hit it too hard, it goes off the table. Sarah Crother KC. It's about finesse. It's totally a finesse game. Sarah Crother KC, for the defendant, argued that physical strength, stamina, and physique did cause a disadvantage for female-born competitors playing pool when competing against male-born players. She said that every competitor in sports must have a fair chance of success. Nobody has a fair chance of success. All sports are inherently unfair. Must have a fair chance of success, and that means that it is absolutely commonplace for personal characteristics of competitors to be categorized. She argued that the history of competitive sport has overwhelmingly favored the participation of men, adding most sports are designed primarily to suit men. She claimed that most sports are designed to test the abilities and the capacities of the male body, and there were very few sports that test female bodily characteristics, such as flexibility or balance. Yeah, I could have been the next Michael Jordan if I only tried a little harder. Oh my God. I think we don't have a conclusion to the court case. I think this is like just the first day of testimony. Thank you to Harriet Haynes. You were awesome. I want to hug you. And I'm happy to share your story. I hope that touch people, help people understand something. Harriet didn't want to be a trailblazer. She didn't want the attention. But some people feel called to do it. And I think we're going to meet one of those people here. This is the transgender woman arrested for using the Florida Capitol restroom. Her hat says "Make America Gay Again." I love it.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Florida Capitol Police arrested Marcy Reichen on March 19th and charged her with trespassing, a second-degree misdemeanor under state law. Oh, she is adorable. College student Marcy Reichen. I think I'm close on that one. New. Okay, hold on. That's a typo. Röntgen. I'm fucking that up. Knew she wasn't welcome in the women's room in Florida's Capitol, but she didn't expect Capitol Police to haul her off to jail or to face the threat of prison time. It was just scary, the 20-year-old trans woman said in an exclusive interview with The Advocate. I've been in Florida my whole life. I tried to get video of her. I could not find an interview with her. But it's just, I found one. It was like 60 minutes long. I didn't have a chance to get clips out of it. Capitol Police arrested Reichen on March 19th and charged her with trespassing, second-degree misdemeanor under the Florida law. She ended up in the Leon County Jail for more than 25 hours and could face 60 days in jail in the men's ward if the case goes to trial later this year. The arrest has LGBTQ plus advocates in the state decrying the discriminatory arrest and potential prosecution of Reichen, who almost certainly would face no charges if she were not transgender. The arrest of Marcy Reichen is not about safety. It's about cruelty, humiliation, and the deliberate erosion of human dignity. This is according to Nadine Smith, the director of Equality Florida. Transgender people have been using restrooms aligned with their gender for generations without incident. What's changed is not their presence. It's a wave of laws designed to intimidate them out of public life. I've said it a million fucking times. It's about forcing the entire LGBTQ community back into the closet. But you start with the smallest group and work your way up. That's why I read the poem earlier. Reichen knew entering the restroom on the second floor of the Capitol. I'm sorry, The Advocate did a horrible job writing this. The Illinois woman, who has family in Florida, felt outraged after the state passed a law that forbids anyone using a bathroom designated for gender that they were not assigned at birth. Yeah, she's super fucking cute. Reichen said she never considered herself an activist. She has been inspired by trans celebrities like actress Hunter Schafer speaking out about the direct impacts of reactionary policies on the day-to-day lives of transgender Americans. I am not an intellectual or a philosopher. I was just upset and it was just the final straw. In protest, she telegraphed her intention to pee in the public facility by writing to legislative leaders and telling them the time and specific bathroom she intended to use. This was 100% an act of protest. I should write Dan Crenshaw and tell him the time and the specific bathroom that I would like to use to piss in his open eye hole. Give me that eye, pussy, sir. I was uppity about it, she said. I wrote them letters telling them I would do this, but I didn't think I would be arrested. But she was confronted by law enforcement at the restroom who told her she could not use the facilities. Refusing to back down, she continued to try and entered the lavatory anyway, at which point she was taken into custody and later given a notice to appear in court. You want her to use the men's restroom? Seriously. The party told you not to believe what you can see with your own eyes. I wasn't expecting them to do anything. I was betting on them not reading their mail to be real. Yes. But they actually did read constituent mail. Probably when she got to the jail. It didn't seem like they let her in. I was also betting on them not to arrest me to make a show, and I expected them not to do it because of compassion. Well, if you were expecting them not to do it because of compassion. If we are arresting trans people, that is crazy. If you look at polling, people say our policy on trans issues is far to the left. But if too far to the left is arresting trans people, what is the right-wing option? That poor girl. I don't want to have to do this story, but we have to. We're going to do it fast because I don't want to dwell on it. When we did the Fleabag, did I tell you good evening? When we did the debate the other night and they brought this up as a topic, I shut it the fuck down, made them move on. Because you can't sit there and bitch about the media and how it exploits. Like, that was literally one of the things that they said. It was like exploits are whatever they said to get us fighting with each other. And then like, oh, well, let's talk about this Carmelo Anthony story. This was a personal issue between two kids. The attention it is getting from the national media is fucking sick. I would have covered it once because, you know, he stabbed the kid in the heart because I fucking cover stories like that, right? I think even when I covered it, Flash, like, didn't you bring up that the right wing was already, like, making it into something and I was just covering it as if it was, you know, hey, crazy story that's happening. We're gonna get the arrest citation is illuminating, let me tell you. The Frisco track meet stabbing suspect to seek a reduction in bond and a new charge. Absolutely, it should, if anything, should be charged with homicide. Murder requires premeditation. $1 million bond is insane. We saw, like, dude was a total flight risk and raping kids or something and got like $100,000 bond the other day. So holding him on $1 million bond is insane.
The Frisco Memorial High School community gathered tonight in grief after the stabbing death of a teenager at a track.
Fleabag, this is Texas. You can basically shoot or stab somebody for looking at you wrong. They stand your ground state, so if somebody assaults you, you are in the right to shoot or stab them. It's their laws. Yeah. Did you see his shirt?
Metcalf was voted and leaning senseless.
Great individual and impact.
God over all things. GOAT. Yes, in all these stand your ground states, you can absolutely shoot somebody for hitting you. Like, Fleabag, where have you been? If someone assaults you, yes. And you've got a stand your ground law. Because some laws have a duty to retreat. Yeah, unless you're black. Those laws don't apply. But yeah, in Texas, stand your ground. You absolutely can shoot somebody for assaulting you.
Security changes.
Okay, so that's all they got. They didn't even interview. They strung like several of their news stories together for that, and like those were all older news stories. I've seen news stations do that, keep you watching longer. But they didn't talk to Carmelo's dad. They didn't tell you about Carmelo's future now, did they? They didn't tell you about Carmelo's good deeds. That's what I hate about the media. Dad claims the murder suspect was not the aggressor. The 17-year-old accused of stabbing and killing another student this week at a high school track meet was provoked, according to his father, and that's according to eyewitness accounts. Andrew Anthony, the dad of the teenage murder suspect Carmelo Anthony, told the New York Post on Thursday that Austin Metcalf and his friends were the ones who started Wednesday's altercation in Frisco, Texas that ended in tragedy. He was not the aggressor. He was not the one who started it. Metcalf's brother Hunter told WFAA on Wednesday that a tiff between Austin and Carmelo, a student at Frisco Centennial High School, escalated after they initially got into a spat over where the ladder was sitting. So let's hear him out.
Just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Once again, there's all these videos of them, but not all the videos of Carmelo's dad, which he may not want to speak. In the New York Post interview, it was written. There was no video.
Just tell me about what happened today. I don't know. I got a phone call from Hunter. He was screaming that Austin had been stabbed. I was at work, and so I drove. I work in Grapevine, so I drove up to the hospital.
Hey, I can't just listen to her like drone on and shit. I wanted to hear the eyewitness account from the kid. Like, let's see if we can go here.
He has a good heart. Everyone knows. Everyone around here knows he's a great kid. He just
oh my God!
One mistake from that dude, and this just took my brother. Just
see, one mistake. He admits it. He admits that he was the aggressor. His brother was the one who started it.
He didn't deserve it. No one deserves it.
He probably didn't deserve to get stabbed. But here's what we also know from the arrest report. Carmelo asked about his well-being in the car. Like, he didn't want to stab him. He told him multiple times to take his hands off of him.
We used to have family members all the time, but I just didn't know it was going to be mine so soon. My best friend and my brother my whole life, but if y'all could just like, not y'all, sorry. Just like, thank y'all for just comforting us, and like the Frisco area has been comforting my family and me. I just really appreciate everything that everyone's done. It's a really hard loss, but we're gonna get through it with my family, so we'll just stay together.
We asked him to move, Hunter said. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. Now apparently this also so this was a track meet. Austin wasn't on the track team. Carmelo was. So I keep hearing people say that Carmelo wasn't supposed to be there, but yet one was on the track team. My brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." All of a sudden, he grabbed his backpack. Hunter said he then saw his brother suffering from a stab wound. Andrew said he was heartbroken by the whole ordeal, but was adamant his son is a good kid. Fleabag, did you just call Flash a pedophile and say that Trump won? What the fuck? What are you smoking? Don't make me get the GIF. Where is it at? Like, that's just a wild thing to say. What the... Fleabag's been here, like, several times. Like, hold on, how the fuck did this happen? How did you just all of a sudden called Flash a pedophile? The fuck? You gotta explain yourself. I'm stunned. Like, how can somebody be like, Trump won, get over it, pedophile? Why would he suppress his chuttiness? Like, I don't understand. I thought Fleabag was cool. Oh, absolutely. Fucking, like, New York and Chicago are, like, relatively safe cities. The most dangerous cities in this country are, like, Shreveport and St. Louis. Little Rock. Memphis. They're all in fucking red states. But then it'll be like, oh, but those are run by Democratic mayors. I'm like, well, what do you think a mayor does, my friend? Like, who's passing the policies? And, like, you go in the ruby red areas, they are high crime rates. I live in a ruby red area in a blue state, and it is a high crime rate. Florida, actually, hey, Torchy, I love being factual, you know this. I'll actually throw this out at you that fucking Florida surprised the hell out of me. It ranks like 34th or 35th in crime. And I was like, are you serious? That sounds insane. I'm doing Florida Man story almost every night. Marcus, what's going on, my friend? Though I will say, Fort Worth Man stories have been taking over Florida Man stories here lately. I think Fort Worth definitely giving it a run for its money. But they spent all the time talking about all the great things that the Austin kid did. Fucking the Carmelo kid saved somebody. Saved a drowning child in a pool. That doesn't get mentioned. But you got me on at the gym in order to get your blood pumping? Is that what's going on? Yeah, Avalon, that is a thing. Sunshine laws in Florida make it a lot easier to get crime records. I'm gonna skip this. We're running late. If we're gonna do music, I need to skip some shit. So I don't feel like talking about Israel tonight. But I got some video that we need to watch at some point in time tomorrow. Let's do some crime stuff real fast. Oh, God. I've still got like 40 minutes of Lori Daybell Vallow. Damn. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow, too. If you don't know, she's the one that was in like the Doomsday Cult that killed her kid to go be with her lover, that she was cheating on her husband. I think she killed her husband or something too, or one of the lovers killed that, like they killed each other's spouses or some shit. Like, it's a fucked up story. But she's defending herself. Like it was on when we were coming on. Be glad I'm not just sitting here eating popcorn watching Lori Vallow Daybell trial as she defends herself. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow night. I'm so into that. Also, she's hot, so throws a whole other wrench into that. I got a whole interview with her before the opening statements were today. Fuck, I might have to play opening statements. I can't wait. Pottstown neighborhood is on edge after there was a standoff. This is outside of Philadelphia.
Right now at 6, a neighborhood on edge after a tense standoff ends with a police officer shot and the suspect killed. Now we're learning more about those terrifying hours from the people who live nearby. Good evening, I'm Don.
You know, I just thought about this. And this is, I'm going to admit this guy, like I've never even dug up this. Wow. Okay, so when I was doing the news back in like 2005, in 2005 I used to do it a lot more, right? Because I just started doing news. I didn't really know how to do radio news when I first started doing radio news. And like, most radio stations just read the headlines of the newspaper, but they wanted like an actual news reporter that went and covered shit. So basically, like, I'm 19 or 20. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done radio news before. I've done radio, but not news. And one of the things that, like, the boss told me to, like, just go down and hang out at the courthouse and shit. And you find the news. And it's kind of right. That's kind of what you do. But when I'm there at the courthouse, I meet the newspaper reporter. And he's been doing it for goddamn 30 years. And he gives me all kinds of fucking tips. And that's how I learn how to do news. Basically, is learning how the newspaper reporter, you know, goes around and cultivates his sources and shit. But I don't have a lot of sources and stuff. It is a common novice tip, right? Yeah. But I mean, like, he didn't know what the fuck he was. He was on the city council. He was a dumb fuck Republican. This is a radio station. He was a dumb fuck Republican. So I don't have a lot of sources. I'm kind of building rapport. So one of the things I used to do a lot in my early days of doing the news was to go and just watch arraignments at the courthouse. You find out what people have been charged with and then look into the charges if there's anything interesting. So they would bring all the prisoners, or not prisoners, they would bring all the captives. I don't know, what would you call somebody that's in jail but not tried or anything. They're going for their arraignment in front of the judge. They're always in like orange jumpsuits and shit. And there's a lot of fucking... I'm from Eastern Kentucky. There were a lot of girls, young ladies, getting busted for pills and shit like that. So there was a lot of like hot women being arrested for possession of Loratab or Oxycontin and shit. So I'm like sitting there, like watching people that have been brought in over the weekend, like, oh my God, like she's so attractive. Like the gel suit makes her hotter. Oh my God. Like, that's where this come from. Like, that's like what this weird fetish I have for. And let me tell you, like, it don't hate me for this. I hooked up with the CO. It looked like her ass had been poured into that outfit. Oh my God. Oh my God, she was so hot. I absolutely hooked up with her. A cab, though. Both sides. As I'm like, and I met her when I was like visiting the jail, because there was this murder suspect. I think he's convicted. I think he got convicted. I think I call him like a murderer. Defendants, yeah. I meant like somebody that's shackled and in the jail suit and shit. What you are when you're an incarcerated individual. There, incarcerated. But like I met the girl, or the woman, I need to say woman. Byronic, good evening. I met her when I was like, I built up a rapport with one of like the sleazy lawyers in town, and he was representing this murder suspect. And he also had this other case with the murder suspect's dad, and the dad had been charged with might have been trafficking. It was like a huge thing. But the dad like was charged with some other completely separate thing, and he was representing both of them. And I ended up hooking up with the murder defendant's girlfriend. She was in the courtroom, and that's the wild thing. I had met her doing her like sweet 16 birthday when I was like 18. Thank you. Just a few years before, and then like she's dating this murderer. That's where I meet her again. Because she was dating him when he committed the murder. And then I ended up hooking up with her. But while I was at the jail to interview, because it was like a deal. I got to interview the murderer for giving the dad's story some coverage so he could taint the jury pool. And then he pulled the interview with the murderer from me. I'm like, oh, you piece of... And then I never trusted him again. Steve Pinion or Pinson or something like that. In Pikeville, Kentucky. Fuck you. Probably dead now. Or at least retired, I'd hope. But I'm down there to like interview the dad or some shit. That's when I meet the CO. And she's like been poured into her outfit. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I am complete... JustinFREAKIN cub reporter. That's exactly what I was. Little cub reporter.
On Bell.
But you had the little hat and everything.
Off today. It was a terrifying Sunday evening for people living in a Pottstown neighborhood. An hours-long standoff forced families to shelter in place. It all started with a traffic accident at Beach and North Mount Vernon streets. It ended hours later about a half a mile away at the gunman's home on Winding Road. CBS News Philadelphia's Nikki Dementri has a story.
Sirens and gunshots captured on cell phone video rang throughout a quiet Pottstown neighborhood Sunday night as police say a barricade situation unfolded on Winding Road. Investigators remained at the home Monday morning. This neighbor, who did not want to be identified, say they first heard gunshots around 6.
I was actually making dinner and you just heard this really loud bang, and then all of a sudden there were probably a series
what's going on?
6 or 8 gunshots right in a row, like somebody unloaded a clip.
The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office says police responded to a car crash nearby and found a .22 caliber firearm. Prosecutors say the driver, identified by authorities as Andrew Jackson Ecker, ran back to his house, opened fire at police, and hit Pottstown police officer Caleb
What a name.
in the shoulder. A neighbor confirmed this
It's outside of Philadelphia.
photo of the 25-year-old suspect. A shelter-in-place order went into effect for the area for several hours.
I figured I was going to take cover because the SWAT team was then in my yard, so they were literally going up and down the road.
The standoff ended just before 11 after Ecker was shot and killed.
I couldn't really sleep
Silly Billy.
night, so just kind of being worked up with everything that was going on.
This looks like it's a really nice suburb of Philly is what it looks like. Is anybody familiar with the area? What's Pottstown?
Because it's rare for this neighborhood.
A spokesperson for the district attorney's office says a family member helped a SWAT negotiator talk to Ecker, but he refused to leave the home. Officials say no one else was shot during the standoff.
Hope the family's okay and just that everybody, and especially the police officer that was hit.
The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office continues to investigate.
I hope we have another good cop.
The Pottstown police officer has since been treated and released from a local hospital. In Pottstown, Nikki Dementri, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Okay, this is a wild story. I mean, aren't they all when it was the Troll Patrol? A 13-year-old boy was found dead The soccer coach of the boy was arrested, but it didn't have anything to do with the boy, I think. But now we've got a new, like, this was a story that was happening last night, and I could have put it on I was like, I'll save it for tomorrow. But that was the facts as of last night. As of today, it seems that the soccer coach is now dead.
Eyewitness News has learned Mario Aquino, the coach of the 13-year-old boy found dead in Oxnard, has been arrested on an unrelated sex charge from last year. Aquino was arrested last Wednesday. He has not been arrested nor charged for any crimes related to 13-year-old Oscar Hernandez, who is the boy dead. Family and friends continue to mourn that teen after his body was found on the side of the road in Oxnard. That case remains under investigation.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Well, hey, Mark Brown, that is not the latest update. Oh, no, apparently he was charged with murder, not this fucking, okay. Soccer coach of teen found dead. Oh, okay. I read it wrong. So he's been charged with murder now, on top of the additional sexual assault charge. The coach of a missing 13-year-old who was found dead last week in Ventura County has been charged with the boy's murder. Now authorities are searching for additional victims who may have been sexually assaulted by him. Mario Eduardo Garcia Aquino has been formally charged with murder in the death of the 13-year-old Oscar Omar Hernandez, whose body was found in a ditch in a densely wooded area. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman held a joint press conference alongside the LAPD chief. Hernandez was reported missing on March 30th. Loved ones have repeatedly stated that Garcia Aquino was the last person to see him alive after the teen took the train to visit the soccer coach at his home in the Antelope Valley. I feel like the soccer coach is not a person you let hang out with your kids. The charges allege that Mario Eduardo Garcia Aquino, on the date of March 28th, murdered Omar Hernandez in Lancaster. Apparently killed during the commission or attempted commission of lewd acts on the child. 2 days after the missing boy's body was found, Garcia Aquino was arrested in Los Angeles on an unrelated sexual assault charge from 2024. On Monday, Sheriff Luna provided additional details about the arrest, announcing that the victim was a 16-year-old boy. I'm sorry, I thought it was 13. It was 16. It was also, that was the other charge. It was coached by Garcia Aquino, who was allegedly sexually assaulted at his home. Seeking additional victims of this piece of shit. It's all like, don't fucking trust coaches or priests, youth pastors, Boy Scout leaders. Don't trust any of them alone with your kids. Be good parents, for God's sakes. Jesus, you stupid people. Not you stupid people. That feels like victim blaming, though. I don't want to victim blame. But I feel like, especially with religion, like, come on, don't trust those fuckers. Religion is a scam. Of course it's full of unsavory individuals. Last night, we only had a little information on the meat cleaver attack that was going on in Brooklyn. Now we're finding out the victims were 4 young girls. Bad apples ruined the whole bunch. Do you have a preference on cat?
4 young girls are recovering from a horrific attack after they were stabbed and slashed with a knife and a meat cleaver.
Socks right here behind me.
It was a relative who did it. Police say it could have been worse if it weren't for the bravery of one of the victims who, despite her injuries, called 911 before police responded and shot the suspect. Eyewitnesses reported Darla Miles live in Bensonhurst with more on this story. Darla.
David, there's still a small police presence
Had the
at
baby.
the home of that family, large extended family who lives inside of this home. They are not here now. We did speak with them, a few of them off camera at the hospital this afternoon. They say the kids are doing okay, but overall the family is just trying to understand and get through all of this. 4 young girls and their uncle, accused meat cleaver wielding suspect Long Jian Chen, all recovering at Maimonides.
Meat cleaver wielding suspect. It sounds so cool.
NYPD returns to their Bensonhurst home today. Investigators now reviewing grisly and dramatic body cam video of an NYPD lieutenant and his driver coming to the rescue Sunday morning.
He's really pissed.
Ages 8, 11, 13, and 16, police say, were all attacked by their 49-year-old uncle. Police today now looking through his past hospitalizations for schizophrenia and his history of mental illness. It is still unclear at this point exactly what led to yesterday's series of events, but investigators say the 11-year-old girl managed to get away from the attack, locking herself in a room.
Oh my God, that's Socrates, and he is like, he's shy. He's the one that doesn't get on stream. He gets on stream the least. Everybody's more familiar with Maynard and Smokey. Socks is everyone's favorite, and he's like people. Like, if we're in a smoke circle, he's gonna like get up on his hind legs and be right there with us as we're smoking. Like, he's like part of the crew. Oh my God, like when I used to have a lot more hookups, he would get really jealous, and he would he never laid on my left side. He always lays on my right side. Even now, he always on my right side. But like, he would get in the left side, get between me and whatever partner I had that night. He wants all the attention. He's such an attention whore. He is the coolest fucking cat, though. I'm sorry, you got me talking about my cat. All right, I'm not gonna do the Lori Vallow, whatever the fuck her name is. I'm gonna show you the rundown from Inside Edition, like the little 2-minute what's going on. So tomorrow you can expect to get her interview. She gave an interview to a news station. I love this. She is representing herself in court with this wild ass, as if the story wasn't wild enough itself to warrant the coverage. The fact that she's representing herself in court just.
Doomsday mom Lori Vallow Daybell is back in front of a new jury today, and this time she's acting as her own lawyer. Her trial kicked off before a jury in Phoenix. And there was the notorious convicted killer in a black jacket and puffy-sleeved blouse.
I'm not an attorney. I do not have training to be an attorney.
In an interview with KPHO-TV,
she
decided to represent herself because nobody knows the case better than she does.
How do you expect this is going to work for you, acting as your own lawyer?
Okay. All you people in the chat that are Echoplex fans, she's like a Madison Star Moon kind of crazy fucking kooky, like what are the other people that, like, if she had a podcast, Dave would be listening to it. So this is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
I have help. I have a wonderful team. I'm just going to do the best that I can. That's all I can do.
Yeah, she got taken in by a doomsday cult.
Conspiring to murder her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, who was found shot to death at Lori's home in 2019. It's said that anyone who represents himself has a fool for a client. So is Lori Daybell a fool? Is she showboating? Is this all just a game to her? Or is it simply because she has nothing left to lose?
It is incredibly difficult to represent yourself because there's so much to it. Even lawyers, when they are in this situation, get someone else to represent them.
Lori Daybell and her current husband, Chad Daybell, were both convicted in the deaths of her 2 children. Chad Daybell, a self-proclaimed doomsday prophet, was sentenced to death. Lori Daybell got life.
You were convicted of killing your kids.
Wrongly convicted.
You believe wrongly convicted?
Absolutely, 100%.
Rex Connor is Daybell's uncle. What are your thoughts on this trial coming up and the fact that she's representing herself.
I wish she would have just pleaded guilty and spared all of us from going through this. This is a sideshow.
I don't. Yes, it's a sideshow. Thank you for entertaining me. Yes, she's kooky. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be amazing. We've got a whole 20-minute interview with her, and I have her opening argument from today. But I probably I should be responsible, and especially if we're gonna do a concert. I should get the fuck out of here. So let's. What have I got in the animal bucket over here? Feel like I had something on. Oh, you guys will fucking love this. Kangaroo court. How about a koala court? That is what it is, right? That's a fucking koala.
I'm deciding what you'll get up to next.
I still want to know what happened to the dude that was confused on whether I was a liberal or a conservative. What were we talking about? How is it not obvious that what position I am? Maybe I'm a free thinker, my friend. Oh, that's so cute.
Oops.
Some of you ASMR peeps are really enjoying this, aren't you? The claws on the...
This is a good game.
That's probably why they're doing this, right? Let them get all tuckered out. He's so cute! Where's she? Are there female koalas or are they something different?
My legs.
I bet those claws hurt.
Chihuahua. Ow.
Ow. Oh. Oh, that face.
Get her fast enough. I'm gonna go down.
And I apologize to people who love the reptilians. I don't show enough reptilians. I myself like the furries. I like the cuddlies. I'd cuddle this. Little dude. I'm sure Byronic would tell me that she cuddles her babies. You should see Smokey scurry across the floor. It's fucking funny. Oh, speaking of, oh, look at this. I was just talking about you, buddy. Oh, really? Yeah, what is the thing about koalas and having chlamydia? Are they just, do they like to fuck or something? Have unprotected sex? Unprotected koala sex?
Sharp little.
What's koala coochie like?
What could you see now, please? Are you on yippee games tonight?
Look at them paws.
So?
Say no.
No.
No. Just wanted to say hello to everybody, didn't you?
Everyone's legs.
Do spiders have chlamydia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're saying that, what's a koala coochie like? It's full of spiders. All right, people's watching on the YouTube. Basically, they have AIDS, but for chlamydia. What in the fuck does that mean? They have AIDS, but for chlamydia. What? Yeah, what the like? Well, I mean, like, is leprosy a good thing for armadillos? Is chlamydia a good thing for koalas? Like, is it something in nature that, like, it thrives. The chlamydia makes nutrition for it. Well, how does chlamydia affect the koala? What does the leprosy, the armadillos don't fall apart, right? They don't suffer from leprosy, but they carry it.
This is a good guy.
Like an armadillo's not just walking down the road and its arm fall off, right? I don't think that's how leprosy works either. But also, like, it gives me the willies, so I ain't looking it up. Yeah, a lot of armadillos, that's why you're not supposed to eat armadillo meat. Don't fuck a koala. Don't eat an armadillo. That's the magic rule.
Your little wet bag. Didn't get it fast enough.
Yeah, fucking Byronic should be able to tell us about these marsupials. You can fuck the armadillos. Is leprosy sexually transmitted? Ooh, I'm glad to know you're a microbiologist, Julie. Thank you. Today in Culture. Welcome in. Give us our Today in Culture. Potatoes, while being the most calorie-dense crop per meter you can possibly grow, almost didn't become popular because people thought they looked leprous. Interesting. Armadillos do have an unfortunate habit of walking down the road, though. Boom. We can always count on Samson to bring the sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Andy, my friend, glad to have you in here. If you're new, I don't know how long you've been watching. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We find out what that news be doing. But you caught us right at the end of the show.
Little claws here.
The animal video is always like aftercare. But it's Mondays, so I stay late and do live music Mondays.
Are you on Yippee Games tonight? I think so.
Say no.
No.
Leprosy is a type of tuberculosis? Interesting. Like tuberculosis eats away at your lungs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Oh, anyway. People on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Facebook. I think we're on Facebook. Hold on, let me go look and see if we're on Facebook. I looked to see if the live was up yesterday or earlier today. And it didn't show that I had a live that was there for people to watch. It doesn't show that I'm live now. Huh. It tells me I'm live on Facebook, but Facebook says that I am not live. Anyway, all you people over on Rumble, BitChute, yada, 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 YouTube, podcast, peace out, bitches.
Bye.